Not it for the recap.
I wasn't
Not
gonna
it.
make you do the
Not
recap.
It's Robbie,
I'm
man.
just not doing it. I'm just not.
The two very different reactions. The overtly nodded and the person that doesn't care is just, yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. You can't make me.
All right, so
That's funny.
last time on Torus event, I don't know why I said it like that, but it's okay. You guys went through a little bit of a dungeon, and you may have come across a little doodad who wasn't so little, who was in fact a slimy boy. Just a little bit of a slimester, you know. And he was like, yeah, actually I don't want this smoke. So let's work out a deal here, because I don't want to fight you guys, and I don't know if you guys want your, to exactly fight me. So we can just come up with a
Slime
little bit of
time.
a...
The Slime Time Grime Master.
Exactly. His name is Gloop. I say his. Its name is Gloop. And I don't know why I'm on my headset mic. Give me a second.
And Gloop was just chilling, and now Gloop is in the bag.
Ow.
Gloop is in the bag now.
That he is.
What will
And
they do?
be glooped in the bag.
Gloop
So-
in the bag. What they do?
That being said, you guys are chilling, and yeah, you finished the dungeon, walked out, got into the ship, and you were about to take off. That's what we ended the session. So, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-bo.
I think you forgot a very big thing that happened.
Huh?
No,
Oh, he missed a lot of really important bits.
no, not
there.
really. I mean, there really wasn't anything else important other than Glooper, the Grime Lord.
Huh? All right then, boys. What did I forget?
Roneus
argument.
and Sula?
Maybe the whole thing about the party hating each other.
And
That's
now
untrue.
you recapped for me. Ah,
No.
No, that was not specific anywhere near enough for it to be considered a recap.
Dang it. Yeah, there was a little bit of a spat in the room where NASCAR revealed they knew that Sula killed Prowler, and
And Roneus started choking out Sula, which is a little illegal. That's called assault. Well, I think that's battery, technically.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. It's one of the two. And then,
it's
I don't
both,
know.
actually.
all of it was
Yeah,
on
it might
camera,
be assault and battery. You're right.
and then they all of it was on camera, and they're getting back. And hey, can we play this without problems actually?
What?
We can
Right
it's
now?
fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. And they get it together. You guys left a bunch of treasure behind.
As per the request of Johnny.
Because he wanted to curse somebody down the line, yeah. And you guys, there was some deals that were made between people that shall not be specified. And that's it.
Well, I'm curious.
I imagine it's you, unless he's referring to the only deal that me and Vash made, but I would
don't
really
know.
consider that a deal.
There were 3 distinct deals that I can think of that were made.
Huh?
I'm guessing at least
I feel
one of
left
those the
out.
party doesn't know about.
Oh, true. Very true.
Like,
I think
I
Sam
feel-
is the one that made that deal. That's why he's
I know-
playing it up.
yeah.
I
know, at least-
definitely am the type of person that would do that. I can't even. You know what? That's so me.
Sam definitely made at
Real.
least one deal. Me and Vash made a binding vow. I don't know where number 3's coming from, unless we're counting the one I'm about to make right here.
No, the
I mean, I wouldn't count that. That wouldn't be a last session deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm like confused about.
Gloopster deal.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
it's actually true.
Oh, we just forgot about that.
You guys made a
I
whole.
forgot it was
forgot that was a
technically a
deal
deal.
entirely. Yeah.
You guys made a.
Loop being
Binding
allowed
vow
to live. You know what?
contract.
Fair.
No, I don't think we did that.
Fair.
Untrue.
Brolnaeus
In fact,
made
I
a
killed Gloop.
binding vow
Gloop is dead.
with Gloop.
Yeah, I would like to say Brolnaeus was the only person who made that binding vow. I'm allowed to murder Gloop.
Same.
But like, I don't want to. He's a pretty chill guy.
I don't want to murder
Yeah.
them. I'm just saying that, like, I am allowed to.
And Gloop is not allowed to kill you. Actually, unless you guys fight him. I think that was stated in it. Is that if he is attacked, he can fight back.
Yeah. At least that would have been a provision in there. If
Yeah.
he didn't say it.
Just because that's kind of a necessary thing. Is that he
Yeah,
can't
that's kinda
guarantee they can't
fair.
guarantee that the people in the camp won't attack him, and if they do, he wants some insurance to make sure that he's not going to get just murdered without being able to defend himself. He just can't shoot first, you know? He can't be Han Solo. Anyway. I need music. What music do I want to do?
Rip and tear. I need a compilation of how many times I've said rip and tear whenever you've asked that.
I don't remember you ever asking.
I ask
Yeah.
it
Real
every
quick.
single time.
I don't remember it. I think you're gaslighting me.
God,
I mean,
can't
I
believe you said
definitely
wouldn't do
would.
this.
You would definitely gaslight me. That's so real. That is exactly something you would do.
I'm not this time, but like, yeah, I would.
But like, yeah, that sounds like a good bit. Might use that later.
Let's see. What's the other thing I want to do? Music. Want to do fantasy or sci-fi today? What do you think, guys?
I don't know. I'm listening to Lovejoy, so. Fucking
Well, I can't do that on stream, so
unfortunate, truly.
True.
they would murder me immediately. They would shoot down my aircraft that I'm not
That'd
even
be pretty
in.
cool. I think.
He would put him in an aircraft just to shoot him down.
They-
Exactly.
yeah,
They would
They'd
kidnap me,
like
put
start
me in
making.
an
They'd
airplane.
like tell him it's like a Top Gun movie type thing, and then they'd put him in the aircraft, and he'd go up, and then they'd like fucking him down. It'd be
looking
over.
like Homelander in that one plane. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, music. Let's just do what soundtracks have I used in the past? Subnautica, Monster Hunter. Ooh, Monster Hunter. Alright, Monster Hunter it is. Cool. That has been taken care of. So, guys are beginning to take off, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Welcome aboard, sirs. How was your time inside the dungeon?
Wouldn't we have already told Talos about this? We've had time on this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
I thought we'd already taken off.
I believe we had, yeah.
I had
We
a
had a
glitch
few
in
conversations
the
in our
recollection of my
room.
programming. That is my bad. Also, it appears as if there was an issue with the chronology of your time spent inside. the events you have described were not quite as lengthy as the time you spent in there.
Yes, I did notice the time was a bit off when we arrived back.
To be specific, you were in there for roughly about 2 hours.
Oh. That's interesting.
I'm sure it's nothing.
Judging by my calculations of your story, it does not sound as if you had spent 2 hours in there, unless you took a bit of a nap while I was waiting out here by myself. Actually, no, Morris is on board.
We didn't take a nap, no?
No, we actually went through that dungeon quite quickly. It's a small one.
In that case, it appears as if there is a little bit of an issue in the chronology of that region. Would you like me to send a probe down to investigate?
I mean, I don't see the harm in it.
Understood. Deploying probe.
Boom. There's a
Well, what
distinct,
is it?
like, poof sound out the side of the ship.
Probe deployed. Readings will be discovered in roughly about, calculating, 2 hours. Let's hope it's not longer, eh?
He attempted to make it sarcasm. He's not very good at it.
I was just confused on why he would listen to me of all people.
Oh. Honestly, he was just waiting for somebody to give him permission. He wanted to know what was going on.
It's like he wanted to do it, he just needed someone to push him over the edge to do it.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys arrive back at camp not too long afterwards. And yeah, everything appears to be in order. You guys land. You guys get there. Bob and them have left on a mission. From the sounds of it, they waited for you to get back a little bit, but then you didn't. So they left about 8 hours ago.
I see. Good for them.
So you're doing your debriefing with, oh man, actually Jeffamet's back, isn't he? Not Jeffamet, Jefferoth's back.
Jeffamet is back, yeah, that's so true.
What do you mean Jeffamet's back? Where'd he go?
Jefferoth is back.
Sephiroth might be back. We don't know.
True. But you go to the main, like, camera area to get your stuff approved. They take the video and off of... Who had the camera again? What is that, Sula?
I had a I thought we all had cameras, technically.
I don't.
No, I think it's Sula and Vash, right?
I'm
Alright, yeah,
ineligible
sure.
for a camera.
Vash would
technically.
not have said yes.
Oh.
Aren't I ineligible for a camera?
What do you mean?
I don't know how the cameras work. So I feel
They
like
just-
I might be ineligible.
They just attach to your person, and...
But what if mine can't attach properly? Regardless, they get a pretty good view of what happened, no
Oh,
matter
yeah.
how you want to slice it.
They view it, they say, oh wow, there's a discrepancy in your recording time. You guys didn't leave out any content, did you? Well, we're gonna have to look for any edits, but
What do you mean discrepancy?
well, you guys were gone for about 2 pars, and there's only about 8 hours of
Yes.
footage on there, ish.
Isn't it possible that there's time dilation in the dungeon?
Also, definitely possible. We've had that happen in plenty of dungeons before, but like just letting you know we are gonna have to take a little bit extra time to process this footage.
All right.
Anyway, those are disabled now, so you guys should be good to go about the business in the camp.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Also, Jeff Roth is back, and he should have your guys' payment for the big dungeon. They finally got that whole situation sorted out.
That's nice.
Yeah, so if you
I
guys just
wasn't
wanna,
there, so.
yeah, if you guys just want to send over like could grab your group leader or someone, come
Yeah, we'll
receive
send
the
Bralnea.
funds. All right, sounds good.
You can't say no.
Actually, wait. We received a very specific request to not send him.
You know what? Fair.
We were told to either send your group leader or someone by the name of Auroris, I think was what the note said. Or was it Auroris? You want to look at that note again? It's Auroris. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's Auroris. That would also be applicable. Either your group leader or that one.
Why can't we send Bralneas?
It's a personal request.
We'd be sending him to Jefferoth.
I feel like we should send Bralneas, though.
I don't trust him
Jefferoth-
to handle my money.
No,
Sure.
I feel like there's something on the footage that will warrant his presence. If that makes sense.
Oh.
You'll find out eventually.
Damn it,
I
Dion
suppose.
joined before I did the thing.
Damn.
That was a short nap.
Believe me. Anyway,
Well, now he sounds normal. Pick a fucking lane, buddy.
Dude, either I'm listening sorry for you or not. Like,
Am I supposed to be sad that you're tired, or am I supposed to be like, this guy's lying to me right now? Like,
see,
you know what I
like
mean?
you can't even choose if you're gonna
See,
say
he
something
doesn't
or
even
not.
know if he wants to like insult us or if he just like wants to encourage us living our life.
Encourage
Doing
you
us.
go and get in some activity, man.
Yeah, enjoying our life. He doesn't even fucking know. God, make up your mind. Be supportive or be mean.
go shit through your dick hole.
See, there we go.
Chosen to be mean. All right, good.
No,
He's
I don't
chosen
trust
to be an
him.
asshole, so we know how to react now.
Exactly.
Go piss, queen. Go piss.
Well, that really doesn't mean anything anymore. You were mean. You already gave us a decisively mean comment, so it's a little late to take it back, buddy.
All right, so yeah, we received a very specific request to not have Bralneas visit Jefferoth in this for the collection of funds.
I mean, kill
And-
two birds with one stone.
If there's something that needs to be reviewed, was there any illegal activity on this tape? Is that why you're talking about the
I mean, I wasn't there for it, so I don't know
I
precisely,
would
but
consider it
probably.
against the law. Yes.
Probably.
I see. Oh well. In that case, we'll and considering the time discrepancy on it, we'll definitely have to review this for a little bit longer. So it could be upwards of 3 to 4 hours
Gotcha.
before we can get this all analyzed. That being said, guys enjoy. And go see Jefferoth at some point to collect your group's payment for the other mission. Though I'm not sure how much of a cut you guys are going to be getting yourselves.
I'd imagine none.
That's entirely fair. Well, that being said, yeah. Did you guys get the magic item, by the way? The appraisal office is right next door if you just want to go get that appraised now.
I suppose
Yeah,
I will bring
Should-
it over there.
probably warn them about it.
Yes.
About what?
It's a little extra magical, you could say.
Did you guys find like a very rare or something?
Well, it's
Unimportant right now.
that's for the appraisal people to know.
All right then.
He's got a lot
I
of
feel like we're gonna find some interesting stuff on this footage. He says, looking over to one of his coworkers.
Yeah, probably.
Alright.
Eventful dungeon.
And you guys walk over to the appraisal office and give him the nice bag, I assume. Or what do you guys say when
Once
you
they
when you
go
walk
over
in?
to the appraisal office, as per usual, Ash will go to her lab.
Oh, hello there. Welcome in. Guys, back from your mission finally, then.
Yep.
Well, we're
Why
glad
not
to have you
with
back.
Sula, or is Sula going alone, actually? It's the real question.
Oh, I mean, if you want to join, you can, but I'm not asking you to.
I'll join. I feel like this will be interesting.
Yes. Hello there. How goes it?
Yes, hello. So, I heard you guys were having yourselves a little bit of a interesting thing. I just got a memo over from the recording office to warn me about it.
Yes. To be
Oh,
blunt, the med is still with the item.
The what? And you seem kind of recoil
We-
back a little bit.
he's friendly. Or it's friendly, I should say. Don't mind him.
It's not allowed to attack, so
Yes.
What
And
did
it
you guys do
understand-
to that thing?
Oh, we
nothing.
can talk to it.
What?
That was it.
Have
Can
you
I-
guys not tried that before?
They don't tend to be
What?
very rational. Normally, I've heard, from what I've heard of the other engineering crews, they say the med either, if it is capable of speech, it'll usually just ramble about the magic item and how it wants it. Now, you can't have it in the, like,
Definitely did ramble about the magic item.
oh, fair enough. Well, yeah, if you just want to hand it over, I'll take a look at it.
Yep. Hand over the bag.
It is it. Whoa, what is that? Oh, it's the med, you just told me. Oh, that's a weird little thing, isn't it? Why are you touching the bag? I need to identify it.
Just let it.
Fine.
Just let him. He won't cause any other disturbance.
Fine. Alright, I'm going back in the bear. Well, it certainly is capable of speech, that's for certain. Quite a mouth on it, too. You see him kind of like with one finger. Normally he just kind of like grabs it and holds it for a second. This one he just kind of touches it with one finger. Alrighty then. Oh. Well, that's odd. Got some wild effects in here.
They are called wild dice.
Fair enough. Also, that med is quite the strong thing, to say the least.
Not really something we've got to worry about, so.
Fair enough. Let's see. It says it's a very rare. Oh, get quite the use out of this thing before it was to be decharged.
Can you repeat
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Sorry.
Looks like you could get normally quite the usage out of this thing before it gets decharged, so seems pretty useful to me. But at least like 7 or 8 uses of these things before they need a little bit of time to recharge. Oh no, wait! Depending on the effect, you probably get more. Not important. Value this thing around 30k ish. Though with the med, you might have a hard time selling it.
Yes, which is why I believe we're just going to keep it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Would the med add value, technically?
The med would
Probably not like those other people.
I'm not quite sure how it would function. Honestly, I think this is one of those extenuating circumstances where the camp no longer has to make an offer on an item. There's a couple of stipulations in the contract that states that if the item is cursed or has other quote-unquote extenuating circumstances that make it harmful for the user, the camp is not required to make an offer.
I'm more so meant if we're selling it to someone who wants to buy it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no, you probably would. I don't know if it's like that. I made a
Depends on
deal
the
with
person.
these people, not with them. No more deals. No more deals. Well, that's that.
All right.
Well, that being said, here you are. If you just want to grab that back, it's it's right there. I don't know how much I want to touch that thing. It's also got quite the chaotic energy about it.
I noticed. I grab it.
Yeah. There's a sort of semi-relieved gurgling sound from inside.
Alright.
Alright. Yeah, no, you tried them appraised, and then everything's all good to go.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Um,
And nothing bad happened.
True. So, is there anything else you guys would like to do in the current downtime a little bit?
I mean, I already said
yeah.
what I wanted to do.
Remind me again.
And
We're gonna have
I-
a little outing.
Baphomet said he wanted to talk to
Oh.
Bash.
Oh,
I'm
right.
taking that deal. I will go ahead and roll it. If that's alright.
Let me get
Lucky
the-
number.
Let me get
Am I
everything
gonna-
set up real quick.
Alright. I mean, that doesn't affect what this roll is going to be.
Real? Real.
Wow.
3.
Alright. 3, yeah.
What the
Whoa.
heck?
Nice, nice.
I didn't even want that, to be fair. To deal with chaos and randomness,
Randomness decided. What can you say?
I mean, you can choose to do.
Boo.
I don't decide. I didn't decide that.
By the way, I already knew it was either going to be max or minimum.
I knew it was going to be either like high or low.
I knew it was gonna be one of 8 numbers. What can I say?
It's going to be
It was
a
either we
1,
rolled a 1 or we rolled an 8.
two,
There was
a
no in
3,
between with our
4,
luck.
5, a 6, a 7, or an 8. One of those.
And I knew it couldn't be any other number. So,
Let's see.
So, sadly, actually, the number.
It is 3.
Now comes the question of when is Baphomet going to approach Bash to talk?
Probably after this.
after this,
Alright. I have
You
split
have it
up into
already?
8 piles.
Perfect, thank you. So my first card will come from pile number 5, so
Pile number 5 is now empty.
south. Yes, so perfectly south.
Oh, I didn't put it in directions. I put it in stacks. I didn't have enough room to give directions.
Oh, okay, fair enough, honestly, that's fine. So my second card will be coming from,
Rolled again.
yeah, 4.
I thought you only took 1 card from pile number 5.
Yeah, pile number 5 only had 1 card in it.
But if,
Oh,
how many cards are in the deck?
Like
Total?
13.
Yeah,
this
well,
is a
you were supposed to add all of them back.
This is after a reset.
No, that was for the purposes of getting it to reset. You would have to draw from the current pile.
I think his intention was reset first.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would not have agreed to that deal.
then I ain't pulling cards.
All
The
right,
whole
then.
point was that I take a chance with chaos and, you know, get all the good stuff back, keep all the bad stuff in there, and let fate decide.
Never mind then.
I don't.
You have to take more cards for it to be a full reset first?
No. The current deck, as it is, needs to be drawn from. That is the danger. That is what it must be dealt with.
Yeah, well, that sort of goes against my code of chaos and randomness. If majority of the effects are bad, then
You know what you're gonna get.
yeah, it takes away the fun. Hence why I put the fun back in there, but apparently not.
He puts the fun in the deck. What can I say?
Listen, he just took a little bit of fun out of his pockets and put it in the deck, slided it together. It's back together now.
Yeah. I was under the impression that you meant that after you after you had drawn, everything would be pulled in, or everything would be put back in.
No, it would be everything is back in, then I draw. So that
Then-
way it's completely random what I get.
Then no, that's not. Nope.
Alright, well, I'm not the one that'll suffer.
The
I'm not the
incentive
one that'll
there.
suffer a negative for not drawing, so
Yeah, that's true. That is fair.
Yeah, it's all on Bralneus.
That is all on Bralneus.
Can't wait for
By the way,
Bralneus to only
Bralneus,
get
you have to
benefit
draw a
cards.
card before the end of the next long rest.
Mm-hmm.
At least one. There are 4 good ones in there.
2 neutral and a bunch of bad. Oh, counting jokers is positive.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, I take it Jeff and Matt's going to go talk to Bash.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need
In
Jeff
that
Met
case.
anymore.
You want public or private?
Private. This one's private.
Okay.
Should I also hop down there right then? Nobody watched the stream. Not allowed to. All right.
So that's funny, right? Smile.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think I was gonna. What was I gonna talk to you about exactly? I think I remember.
Well, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I think I remember. Yeah, we'll just go with it. So I don't know a lot of things, but what I do know is what I've done, and because of that, I'm going to approach Vash, in what I would call a stealthy way.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, I mean I'm going to enter the laboratory in my favorite time of the year.
I see what you mean. Mm-hmm.
So, Vash, I assume you're in your laboratory, as I will be
I'm in
calling
my
it.
laboratory.
Yeah. So I'm going to inexplicably just appear in your laboratory.
To go through exactly what I would have done, I would have gone pick Niflheimer, and then I would have returned.
Well, I will be in your laboratory whenever you're in it, so regardless, I will be appearing in your
It
lab.
wouldn't have been very long.
Fair. But yeah, I'm in your lab. I teleported in here, far as you know. That's the setup to the scene. Hey,
I didn't know you could do that.
do what?
Teleport?
I can't
Maybe.
teleport.
Then I have no idea how you did. So, what did you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say thank you for keeping your word and not telling Bralneus who brought you the deck.
You're welcome.
There was... Sorry, I forgot. There was also one other thing. Tensions are rising in the group, as I'm sure you're aware. I mean, you were there for it.
Very clearly.
I think, I don't know what your current project is, but I do think it would be safer to work on that disease sooner rather than later. I know you're working with, what was it? I can't remember their name. Little guy right there.
Niflheimer?
Niflheimer. That's not what you called them.
Well, Valentina's. Sorry,
Valentina.
just the two of us. I call him by his true name.
Why would you tell me his... I guess thank you for trusting me. With that, I suppose.
I
But
doubt you can use it anyway.
I doubt I would too. Regardless, tensions are rising. Bronneus is becoming more and more unstable. I think working on the disease sooner rather than later would be
Yeah,
valuable.
considering he tried to kill another member of the party, I think it's best to prepare something to keep us safe anyway.
That's what I'm thinking. So, I understand it'll put a sort of wrench in your plans with Niflheimer, but it would be better.
Currently, the main thing is trying to raise him and trying to figure out how to raise a child.
Out of my expertise, so can't help you.
I understand.
Regardless, I must be going now, so I'll see ya. And I'm not going to leave until suddenly I'm gone. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm standing there. Like, I'm like
Yeah.
still. I'm not breathing either. I'm just standing there waiting. Until I'm gone. And then that's that. Quick talk. You know how it is.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna switch back now?
Welcome back.
Hello?
All right. Cuckoo choo. So, let's get into business, shall we?
As for other things I would like to do during this, I already messaged you something I would like to buy. So that's
Yeah, you can find that one.
You know about
make me an investigation check to see how long it takes you to find it.
all right. I'll do that. It's not really a big deal if it takes me a while. We've got a little bit of downtime at the very least. Where is it?
A
There it
decent
is.
bit, yeah.
Well, it was to GM, but that's a 6 total. Lamau.
It takes some asking around and some advice from some other members of the merchant area, but you do eventually find the item. Though the place
Alright.
you find it at is selling it for about an extra 50% of what I told you.
And I don't care enough. I'll just buy it.
Fair enough. Well, you know how much to subtract, so.
Yep.
Well, I'll be starting my research. I have several samples that I need to start working with.
Yeah.
I can't press the right fucking button, can I? God damn.
L.
Big L.
Dude, I went to type in 0.95 and I got fucking 68 the first time. I don't know how. Don't ask. And
That's
then I
impressive.
did 96. So I got closer the second time. Third time I got it though. That's all that really matters.
All right. Well, yeah. You guys are chilling out.
Waiting to get paid, yeah.
Yep, sure are.
All right.
Well, I'm
takes them
waiting on
about
something else.
yeah.
But yeah.
Which by the way, it takes you about an hour to get that found, by the way.
Gotcha. I'm waiting on the footage to be reviewed personally.
Ah,
I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting
Yep.
on 2 paychecks and footage.
Yep.
what's the other paycheck
I'll
you're
wait.
waiting for?
I guess I wouldn't be waiting on that one paycheck. Aurora's
But
would.
technically the group
Fair,
is...
Yeah. All right. Well, do you guys, I assume, report to Easley that they're looking for the somebody to go pick up the payment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's like Aurora's, I mean, we're both working together.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You guys get a ping from Talos saying that, hey, you've been requested by the camp to one of you. It does specifically say not Broadnaeus to come pick up the payment from Jeff Roth.
I mean, do you want us to RP this out genuinely?
Yeah, actually, because there's several things I want to demonstrate.
Okay. Then, if it says specifically not Bralneus, I'm going to assume Bralneus is in trouble as Islay, because that just seems about right right now.
Given what he did right before they left, and
Well, to be fair, you guys don't remember that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about Bralneus in general.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm going to assume he's in trouble as we go over to the camp leader.
All right. You guys arrive. Are both of you going over, or is it just one of you?
oh, we can both go over.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. Welcome you two. Glad to see you back. You walk into the tent, or as you walk into the room, Jeff Roth looks a little bit more disheveled than he did before. Overall, he looks tired. Like incredibly, incredibly tired. The suit that he's wearing is sort of rumpled in some places, especially like around the joints and stuff. Looks like he's been wearing it for a rather long time.
Court case
Man.
not go well?
No, we won. It's not a problem. As a matter of fact, that's why I've got the payment here for you. We did end up getting the payment for it. Turns out they falsified some video. He managed to scapegoat it out to the to one of his minor functionaries. The group leader did, or the leader of the adventurers. Sorry, my brain is kind of fuzzed right now.
It's understandable, man. Don't worry about it.
I was supposed to
Yes.
sleep this last part, but I've not gotten around to it yet. It's just been a lot to deal with since I got back to camp. So, anyway, let's see, where was I? Well, right. So, looks like total pay for the post-mission payment is about, what was it? You see him grab out a little notepad or pull out his Omni tool or multi-tool. He starts scrolling through files, and you see like the desktop view of stuff is a mess as of right now. And there's a lot of notes on court notes. There's even a folder off to the side that just says project. And a couple of the things that are just the weirdest crap. And he.
All right, I'm not really snooping in his business, but all right.
Fair.
We're respectable people.
Good. He pulls it out. Oh, right. Okay, looks like it was total pay of 140,000 gold pieces. Though, seeing as how you have to give half that to Bob and them, I already got them their payments, so you don't need to worry about that. So here is your 70,000. You may disperse that amongst however you see fit. I imagine you probably only want to disperse it between the older members of the group, though.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't see
they were
why
the ones
they-
who participated, so...
I don't see why
Yes,
they
yes.
won't need anything.
Yes, quite the haul, you could say. We got paid quite the large amount for this mission.
Greedy bastards.
I would imagine.
I still don't quite know if we can, how do you put it, afford to buy that magic item off of you.
We're
Just
not
'cause-
selling it.
Good,
Does not
because
matter.
that would bankrupt us if we were to have to buy that. At a fair price, rather, I should say. I suppose we could auction it off, but that's still not really an option. Didn't you want me to talk to somebody about the secrets that you learned there? Or was that a... So I talked to a couple people about certain things, and I figured I'd set them up with you directly. I didn't give them any details, but I figured that I'd give you their contact information. As I couldn't remember for the life of me if you'd asked me to talk to some people about it.
I don't think we did we?
Dude, that was so long ago. I have no memory at all.
I don't
Sure.
remember either. Did we?
By the way-
Does anyone remember?
I partially remember. We were asked if we wanted to share our findings with the Magic Guild and whatnot.
Well, that was Talos.
And we said not yet.
That was Talos setting up with those contacts. You said you wanted
Yeah,
to share it with
we
some
said
people,
we
but
said
it's not like
probably
the big
not
guilds.
yet.
All right. In that case, he just gives you some contact information, some of the people that he thinks you might want to share it with when the time comes, but he didn't actually give them too many details. And
Gotcha.
he overall just looks rather kind of disheveled and out of it. And proceeds to give you the money. And also, just to confirm, I've received a report from the video catalogers. They've yet to verify the footage, but it looks like Brolnaeus may have, from a cursory viewpoint of one of our employed speedsters, Brolnaeus may have assaulted one of your other group members.
God damn it.
Oh. Interesting.
So just we're still verifying the footage to make sure it's real, but overall you may want to discuss with him about that. One of the newcomers, Sula, I think his name was. Yes. Looks like he was assaulted, though admittedly he was accused of what was it? Killing Prowler, was what the footage stated. And there's also some other concerning stuff about a certain... I know that we discussed it. I warned you about it originally when he hired on with the Johnny's stuff, but he appears to be a little bit more deeply entwined than was initially discussed. Yes. I'll just show you. I'll send you the clips when they are verified.
Please do. Until then, I'll hold off on speaking to Brolnaeus about this, but...
I'm just, they
None
should
of
have it
this-
verified within the next hour and a half or so.
Gotcha.
Anyway, that being said, do you have any questions of me now that I'm back? Any concerns that you might need to bring up that I've been unable to answer while I was out?
What
found
all
a
were
lot
you
of-
required to reveal during the court case?
Oh, namely, for the most part, they just referred to the magic item as the magic item, though in the official records it did specify the name of the magic item. So you may want to look... I've been kind of concerned about it. If there is any remnants of the previous anti-Artificer King movement, as you mentioned in your report to us, if they are around, they might come after you for it, but I've not seen any records of anything. None of the council members seem to recognize any of the names or any things they used, so I think the history might be a little too ancient for that. Though mentions of technomancy, when it was initially mentioned by the whatchamacallit, by the what's sorry that's this is me forgetting a word. What's the prosecution? That's the word. The prosecution mentioned some technomancy as part of that. I'm kind of worried. They were talking about things that I'm not sure was specified outside of our personal records, which means we might have a mole of the like among us. I've been closing a lot down on security. People are to report directly to me, and the only place that I'm keeping these records is on my own multi-tool. So, at least until we can figure out what's going on. Admittedly, they might have somebody in charge of a more psychic sort of interference, which, if that's the case, then I'll have to directly combat them myself, but I haven't noticed any sort of pulses going around, so that's not super on the table. But knowing the Adventurers Guild, they might have some resources that might belie my detection of their interference.
If you could prove that interference, would that be illegal for them to do then?
Correct, yes, that is corporate espionage, which is very much illegal. Outside of Arrow, that is. Which we are outside of Arrow, so... You know.
Well, good to find if you do find it then.
Yes. Unfortunately, I think they've been rather thorough at the hiding of it. Anyway. Other than that, no other major details were shared. Though, other than the presence of a music box, which, you know... Oh, by the way, speaking of which, I forgot to mention, due to the footage review that we saw for Sticky Keys, they didn't quite provide the services required for the dungeon, and so their payment has been...
I thought they couldn't get any information from that.
Oh, true. No, you make a fair point. Judging from what we heard from Bob about their assistance, or lack thereof, their payment has been reduced to covering medical costs.
See.
Meaning that out of the 70,000 that you received, about 10k of that's going to go towards medical costs.
Understandable.
Though that's already been counted out, that the bag you're holding contains 60k, so I just remembered that in the moment. Anyway, yes, so there's only 60k in there, which, if I'm correct, should result in about, is that 10k per person? Ish? Maybe 12k?
About.
Yeah, anyway. I wish I could have gotten you more, but the Adventurers Guild managed to get off with only a citation, which caused us to have to pay for a portion of our fees, court fees. Which means that that's about as much as we could afford to give.
Gotcha.
Alright. That being said, yeah. Good luck. If you have any other questions, message me. I'm setting up more direct channels. I'm tightening down on security. Information security, of course. So yes, if you have any other questions, just come directly or begin mentally screaming while out in the camp. I will...
Mentally screaming is his calling card.
I will appear or manifest myself inside of your brain, yeah?
If Rolneus knew that, he would know a new way to contact him.
No, I feel like that's gonna be like half the time he's gonna accidentally be called. We're just gonna start screaming because of Rolneus, and...
Well, I believe it's time we get going then, Will.
Request for you. That specific bit of information is not to be shared with Rolneus. He harasses me enough as is.
Alright, I wasn't going to.
Good.
But I completely understand why that decision is there.
To be fair, also to be noted, until we can get the psychic interference checked out, only do that when you need to set up a direct meeting or something, where we can do it inside of the non-detection room, aka my office. And he sort of gestures the room around him. I don't know if they're picking up on psychic signals. It's entirely possible, so just be careful. Yeah.
All right.
Will do.
Have a good day, and I'll send you the footage when I have it verified.
You too. Get some rest now.
I wish. I might have to get a chronomancer to come through and stop time momentarily for me or something. No, I don't know if we have any powerful enough for that. I just didn't
Hey
know.
guys, I know what my new character's gonna be. Sleep aid. Level 20
That's all he's
Chronomancer.
good for. He's good at letting people sleep, when they need it the most. That's all.
Little nappy wappy.
Exactly. Alright,
Anyway.
we'll be off.
Yeah.
Yes. We need to go take a vacation in Pocket Dimension with dilated time. That's also a possibility. Anyway, you have a good night. Or a good day. It's day.
It is.
It is.
Goodbye. And after, he takes a good pause for, a good, 15, 20 seconds of just staring blankly.
We'll have left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. You see Tina there at the front, and she looks very concerned. As you see him look over at the door, look over at you guys, make eye contact with you, and there's just this look of just, oh man, in her face.
Not sadly our problem right now. We
Yeah.
can't really.
You
Unfortunately, I don't think any of us are chronomancers unless you've been hiding something from me, Auroras.
I mean, he's time traveled before, so.
Exactly.
Let me hit up my god real quick.
Let me call someone.
Actually.
I think I know a guy.
I need to go on a little trip to call someone.
I think I might know. I think I got.
We still have that coordinate for that ridge, the yellow Shunchum Tower, right?
True,
know.
actually.
Just send me
Yes. You would have the coordinates for that. And honestly, the teleporter man would probably be down enough to take you there momentarily if you wanted that.
there. Yeah, I'll do that. We don't have to RP that though. We can get back to
Fair enough.
everything
Yeah.
else.
You tell Tina about that. She gives you a questioning look and then nods, and you blip out, and you come back, and you have a little bit of a conversation with Mr. Time Man, and he says he'll arrange something to be sent over to Jefferoth.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for how I'm supposed to get back though.
Oh, Teleport Man would have been able to
I
get back.
know. It'd just be funny.
It'd be funny if Teleporter Man was like, "Damn, he's been in there for an hour. Must be dead," and leaves.
No,
Man.
probably what happened.
I wonder how he's doing
is,
in there. Oh,
is you
shit, I
walk
forgot
out-
to go.
Is you
Oh
walked
shit!
out
Oven's on.
is you walked out and it was like a half second after you'd walked in, like the door was closed and the door immediately opens again and you walk out. That was fast. And then you just get
I'm a
teleported
fast
back.
talker.
And yeah, that being said, back to camp, and yeah, cool. Well, about another hour and a half passes, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to do immediately.
Bash should be doing research, but we can make those rolls at a different time.
Yeah, we can do that later. Another hour and a half passes, and you all get a ping on your multi-tools. For those of you that have them, for those of you that don't, you get a... I know, honestly, you just get your pins start vibrating.
I don't know anyone here who doesn't have a multi-tool, so.
Yeah. If I didn't
Fair.
have one before, I definitely got one when I joined the camp.
Yeah.
Bash wouldn't have one.
Cringe. Lamau.
Well, Vash, your pins begin vibrating. Those of you who don't know or don't have or who do have a multi-tool receive a ping that says there's been a meeting. Actually, you know what? Easily you get a message from the man that contains a clip of the whole exchange with Bralneus and a request that you gather your group together. Have any parties you feel would be involved or might want to be involved, and have them meet him back.
So, me and Auroras are working together when this shows up. So I pull it up on the screen, and we both witness this, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Was it the smartest idea for us to leave Ronneus in charge and for us to just step back?
probably not. Do we have any other option, though? I mean, we could have not left.
Yeah, but let's see. Anna left. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have put her in charge either.
What was he about to say? Like,
I-
stopped himself.
Honestly, you think in that scenario, like saying something would prove your point? Like if Sula did something, you know, maybe let that be known.
Yeah. Also, we're going to need to gather everybody for this. Who all... It looks like everybody was a part of this other than Jeffermet, I guess.
But I mean, at that point, I guess that should be left up to, I guess the fighting party here.
Aren't he and Sula supposedly... Didn't they, like, join together?
Yes, pretty sure they were like acquaintances or something like that.
Hmm. And then I suppose it should be up to Bralneus and Sula if they both want him there, since he wasn't really... I mean, he wasn't in there. Where was he?
Honestly, with this new group, I don't know anything. I say the new group, everyone there in general. I don't know how I feel about them.
I miss Alden.
I can attest to that. He kept things calm.
I like how you talk about like Odin's just not in his fucking alchemy lab messing around.
Well, you're not a part of the group anymore.
I can still hear his voice.
I can still hear him fiddling with things right now.
Wait, I don't think I should have mixed that.
My apologies. I could have asked
I can still hear the explosions of him mixing chemicals he shouldn't be mixing. It's so sad.
It reminds me of someone else who created explosions, and no, I'm not talking about myself.
Then who?
You don't want to know him.
What?
No, he was actually pretty nice guy. He just was very lucky. That kind of got on my nerves a little bit.
Is it because you weren't
Yes, that's precisely it.
unfortunate then?
That's the only thing I have against him was that he was lucky, I was not as much.
Maybe he was stealing your luck. Was that his power?
No, his power was like alchemy, like transmutation stuff.
What if he was just like, what if he was stealing your luck and he sort of lucked that stuff into happening all of the time?
I think I need to make a call.
No, think about it, I suppose.
Would you like me to contact the current group as it stands?
Yes, except for Jeffermet right now. We'll
Well,
leave him.
I mean, yeah, I guess we should probably wait to. Well, first
let's contact Bralneus, Sula. We'll ask them who they want involved. Although I don't think they're really going to get Vash out of this one, as Vash was
Yes, I think
the participant.
the only two that can be argued to not be involved would be Jeffermet and Acarus. He wasn't really there till like after everything had happened.
Yeah. So we'll ask them, see what they think. So invite Vash, Bralneus, and Sula.
Understood. Would you like me to contact Bralneus and Sula for you and pass them through?
Sure.
Who would you like me to contact first?
I don't think it matters.
Contacting Bromelius.
Brolneus, there's a ping in your multi-tool that says you're getting a call from the command center.
I'll accept it.
It patches you through, and you now show up on each other's screens. It's a video call.
You see Brolneus, he's in his room, next to a mutating cocoon with, like, blankets and pillows around it. Like, he's caring for it like it's a baby. Yeah, what's up?
So, what again was Jefferoth's request? Did he want us to, like, make a meeting so he could be there too, or what? Or did he just want us to have, like, a group meeting?
He wanted
Just
to call
between-
you guys together into his office.
Alright.
You
Yes,
done fucked up here.
Hello, Brolneus. We've come across some disturbing information that we're going to require your...
Oh, I figured there would be consequences for my actions. I suppose the time is nigh.
Oh, I don't have to dance around it then. Yes, you'll be
No.
required in Jefferoth's office.
I fully expected repercussions for that. I am not, blind enough to act before I think.
Yeah,
I
that
very
makes
much did that knowing.
that does make it worse.
You
Admitting
actually
that.
strike me as, like, sometimes the opposite. Like, remember that dungeon with Anna where you just attacked her?
I
made
remember that.
Yeah, it made it so much harder for us.
That time was involuntary, I'll admit that much.
Sure.
I was quite literally controlled.
I don't know if you were controlled to Terra, though.
Regardless, Jefferoth's office. See you there.
Oh, he's back? Neat.
Yep.
Good to know.
Maybe we get someone to wipe Brolneus' memory of Jeff Roth being back.
That would be funny. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
it's a good idea.
I just feel bad for the man right now.
I do too. But I don't know if we're legally allowed to do that. I think that one might be a little illegal.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm trying not to do illegal things now.
Yeah. After your stint.
After my previous timeline, yes.
Yes. We call it that. Regardless, time to call Sula.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you Sula, you
I
gotta
mean,
bring in your...
ways to fix Brolneus' memories. Just ask Anna to cast Modified Memory.
Lobotomy.
Kill him.
Have we like
That's
really
also an option.
truly considered lobotomy with an ice pick? I feel like that one might work out.
But Sula, you gotta ring on your multi-tool.
It might
Ling, ling.
help his PTSD.
I answer. I'm currently in my room, and you see he has some, like, red and black paint on some of his... Like, he's wearing a small apron to protect from the paint, but he still has some on it and, like, a bit on his face.
Hello, Sula. We've received information regarding the latest dungeon, and your presence has been requested in Jefferoth's office.
I see. Who all will be attending that?
Yes, Brolneus will be too. Oh, you said who all? I thought you said will you all. My bad.
Yes.
Currently, it's looking like Vash will, you and Brolneus, and I think we forgot to ask Brolneus about if he's okay with Jeffermetal and Brolneus being there. Speaking of, do you want either of them there?
I mean, I would like Jeffermet, but, I suppose it would only be fair if I bring Jeffermet that Acorus is also brought along. So I have no qualms with having
Acorus
both
being
of them
involved?
there.
For the sake of not making Sam roleplay as two characters in the same setting, probably best if we just
No,
let
Oh,
Jeffermet
no, no, no. We
not-
make a play two characters.
Neither
it's gonna
there.
work out perfectly fine.
Oh, you're
Just
cool
have
with it, Sam? All right,
it
then.
there.
In that case, we can just have Jeffimet sort of be there, but he doesn't need to say anything unless it would make sense for his character.
Yeah.
I
mean,
thought
that's-
that was the plan.
Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I think that's why he originally actually might not be included, is because he currently, as far as we know, doesn't have anything to say.
Oh,
Because
I
he
only
was
want him
not
there
there.
for information,
Yeah.
for him to have it straight from the source.
So, who, I suppose we'll have to re-hit up Brolnaeus to ask him about Jeffimet and
Accurus.
Acarus.
Ring ring.
Ring ring!
I have
Right,
no
right.
qualms with any of them.
I didn't even hear him pick up.
I didn't even press it.
That's because I'm right behind you.
You're literally not. That's so far you have to go. You're cheating.
I teleported behind you with protocol.
We're in a different dimension.
Acarus was there the whole time.
What the
He
fuck
is
is
not
it?
in here with us. That violates the agreement.
And plus, even if I could see him, my boy right here can see him, and Oswin will sort of fly up.
True, Oswin can perceive him. Oswin, I wonder who could perceive better, Oswin or Sula.
I know that answer.
It's Sula. It's Sula.
I don't know. When it comes to cult members,
Oh well,
I
that's
think
not
that's still
fair.
Sula.
That's not fair.
I think that's looks to Sula, because he can just straight up identify cult members.
Oh, real.
Yeah, that is
Hmm.
just part of my
I
background. and
feel like they're probably just tied in terms of cult members because of Oswin's, Oswinness.
That is fair.
I
You're
Oswin's
probably
luck for
tied.
that.
Anyway,
But in like general perception, Oswin has a plus 12. I'd hate to break it to you, that doesn't beat a 27 with advantage.
No, if you
Yeah,
keep breaking
yeah,
it to us,
but-
maybe you shouldn't break it to us.
but the thing is that Oswin could still just be better,
Oswin might not 20, you might not 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
On average.
but Oswin just perceives. Anyway.
Alrighty, well, everyone knows Jefferoth's office. Well,
Yeah.
By the way, Sam, I have
need to-
Bonk Build and RoboQuest right now, and I'm rolling.
gotcha. We need to ping
Talk to
Vash
Vash.
about it.
Yeah.
They don't have
Yeah.
an Omni tool.
Hence why the voot of Vash's pin would call her to the ship.
It's weird that we have to
Yeah.
manually press this button to make it vibrate, isn't it?
I know, like every single vibration we need to press it.
It's weird.
We need to get that fixed.
Talos offers to fix it.
No, I like it this way.
Vash would make her way over.
So do I.
More interactive.
Makes them sure they know that we really are trying to talk to them.
Unless they don't know we're doing it this way, in which case it sort of doesn't.
It's the purpose, yeah.
But it really doesn't matter.
Maybe we bring that up at this meeting.
No. Wrong vibe.
After about I don't know how long it would take Vash to walk across the camp to the ship,
What if we
but
say
after they're
afterwards,
done with
the
that,
land illusion?
they'd be there to see what's up.
It takes Vash at least 10 minutes to walk over there. Camp is pretty big.
It would have been quicker for me to just pick her up and fly her over here.
Probably. But do you know where she was? I don't.
No idea. I should
Talos,
actually find that out.
Talos pops
No,
up a
that's
bunch of
a little
bunch
bit
of
of
pings on a
privacy
tracker
invasion.
map.
And I meant like a general area. I don't need like the inside of a house. Just know where the house is.
I suppose that's fair.
Talos sheepishly closes the window that had the tracking pings of all the pins.
I mean,
As like
that's
a-
fine enough. But,
Oh. Oops.
I mean, if Bash takes off the pin, that doesn't really help
Fair.
us.
Fair. Well, Vash arrives at the ship. I assume you guys tell her to go to the, or come with you to the camp leader tent.
Yep.
All right. Well, about probably another 5-6 minutes of walking later. Or like
Flying.
jogging. Oh, true, my bad. Oh yeah, you guys didn't even. You can just have the Mechanica fly over there, huh?
No, I can just fly.
Can you carry 2 people while you're flying?
No, he's flying. We're
Yeah,
walking.
I don't care what they're doing. I'm chilling in the sky.
I
Exactly.
see.
Actually,
yeah, the Mechanica can get there pretty fast.
I could just like teleport us there, but that feels like that defeats the point of the shame walk, the walk of shame.
I mean, I don't think Bash should be suffering from the Walk of Shame.
It's the walk of shame, though.
Anyway.
We're walking there.
So, before long, you guys arrive at the
At Camp HQ, you know.
I take it you would have told me what I'm being brought there for.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the mission.
Surprise party!
Surprise!
Ooh.
It's your
getting-
birthday!
You're
It's
getting
the
kicked
surprise
out the
death.
camp.
You're no longer part of the group. Goodbye.
Uh-oh. Anyway,
Not surprised.
That'd be such a fucking way of doing it, you know.
Honestly, like,
We don't
Look,
know
at this
point,
that whole
surprised
thing
that-
during, but that
Look.
whole thing during the mission was set up to kick you out. Sorry.
I'll be honest, at this point, there's only 2 members, maybe just 1, that should still be in the group in the current party.
In the current party, there is 1, and that's Acaris.
Wait, why am I?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
everyone else would be gone.
you're
Everyone
not
else
shady.
should be gone.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, what did you say for a second?
No,
You're
that's a
not
compliment.
shady.
You're not shady / evil, at least outwardly, or like having those qualities.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just here to do a job.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
I mean,
Exactly.
Romaze is
Fine.
not shady,
No one
but he
else.
definitely did wrong things. So
multiple times. And also, like, he's about to bring the warden on us, so like maybe we should just get rid of him, so it's not
Real,
our
maybe
problem.
we should get rid of him.
It's
So
not
true.
our problem.
Dion gets
It
kicked out
is-
of 2 groups, 2 sessions in a row, 2 days in a row even. Oh, the only person who was there
Wait,
for
you
that
was
was
kicked out of a group
Wait,
yesterday?
did he get kicked out of fucking? Did he get kicked out of a group yesterday? What?
Yep.
Well, he's what. Well,
oh,
he's what
okay.
He
He
didn't
never
kick a group.
he never considered for himself part of the group anyway.
It wasn't even getting kicked out. It was just him not being a part of the group, apparently. And that hurt our feelings, so he became very petty for that session.
And Morales, Moscon is being a bit of a
Morales?
stonehead. Not
You mean
Morales.
Cantabria.
Cantabria.
Anyway, let's get back to a
Yeah.
horse event.
You guys arrive, and inside, everyone is still bustling around. And you walk in, and you see that Jefferoth is actually looking quite a bit better. Looks like he's had a nap, even though it's only been about an hour and a half.
Yeah, we know.
Hey, I hooked that man up.
You did. But he looks like he's he's had a chance to change his clothes and stuff. He looks a lot better. His
That means
new suit is not as rumpled, and he overall just looks a lot better. Welcome everyone. So, I have been advised that there have been some issues popping up with Rolneus and another member of the group. Sula, right? That's the name?
Yes, my name is Sula. Why is it that people have trouble?
I would like to give you a warning, Jefferman. If you read my mind, you're gonna see some shit.
I
Just
don't read
Jefferman?
minds.
Maybe she left me.
Jefferoth.
Ah, I see. I mean, I'm
What
aware
a
I've done it before.
horrible
He might even.
coincidence. The names are so similar.
Anyway, let's see. So,
Wait a minute, you didn't tell me you could
if you
read
don't
my-
mind, I have called in the camp detainment enforcers. For purposes of, should things get out of hand, they are here to protect us. And in walks the one teleportation guy holding a weird-looking radar gun almost thing.
Oh
Um,
god damn it, not that shit again.
Oh,
I believe he did say detainment, so it's a
Uh,
part of a
again?
detainment thing.
Again, you've had to deal with that before?
Oh, is this guy still part of the group?
What do you mean again, Brolnaeus?
You know what? It would just make this whole thing a whole lot more easy if you just read my mind real quick.
Or if you just
Be
said stuff
so
out
easy.
You
loud.
said not to. What?
Because there's certain things I don't want to be fucking said. You goddamn snake.
But you said for him to not read your mind.
No, I
Guys-
said if he's gonna see some shit.
God,
That's
that's sort of
usually
an implication that he shouldn't read your mind then. What that means.
Anyway, not important. Let's calm down now. In walks another 2 people, one of which is another one of those black guys that he mentioned.
Damn it,
And
well, there's
then-
multiple people. Stulo's fucked.
and
Oh!
a couple other members that are not quite black guys. But there's 2 black guys and a couple other high tiers mixed in there. That are part of the
I know how
squad.
to even. I know how to even the odds. Hold on.
Pretty much
an idea.
all of them are holding either radar guns or weird-looking cuffs. All right, so this is sort of a pseudo-court thing, as Brolnaeus is currently under the sort of, I guess, pre-detainment of the camp with his, whole may have murdered an entire town thing. Not a part of his choice, so, it's hence why he's not been executed. But, that being said, so, to begin, I'd like to show everyone the evidence that we have, which we have had verified, both by technological and magical means, as well as had an authenticator teleported in to come and check the video with their ability. So all 3 types of authentication have been approved. It is real footage of this. And he pushes a button and a little screen comes down out of the ceiling behind him. And like above his little sort of chair desk thing. And plays the video of things from both Sula. Didn't Vash have a camera, or am I wrong about that?
No. Vesh
No.
would not have accepted a camera. She's not an official part of the group.
Ah, fair.
That is fair. I think
That
I
is
was
fair.
been required by.
Yeah.
Jeff
Well, no,
Bond advocate.
the reason I asked that is because they might have asked that you wear a camera because you're not a part of the group, and therefore would be judged separately off of the group.
That is fair. Also.
I do think that would be up to him, though.
You-
Or her.
Yeah, you kind of are your own separate entity outside of the group. You're like your own little mini group.
In that case, Vesh would accept.
Yeah. So in that case, they also play it from your perspective as well, of the whole situation unfolding.
It's the
whole-
exact same perspective.
I mean, it's an outside
Same
perspective.
scene.
One's
Ah.
from the guy being attacked, one's from someone trying to stop the guy who was attacking.
Yeah, exactly. So there's 2 perspectives being played side by side. Anyway. And like they got it in like the the 2-player with split screen. They got it playing like that, but they each have their own full view. All right.
Please tell me there's no delay between the 2 and they're synced up perfectly.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
they are synced up perfectly. That being said, plays the video. The whole thing plays out with the argument between Sula and Brolnaeus. Brolnaeus then grapples Sula and begins to what you bring them. You
I
brought
just
him up in
held
the
him.
air.
I held him by the neck.
Yeah, you held him up by the neck up in the
I
air.
would
I did-
say choking.
Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of choking as well.
Yeah, there was definitely choking involved.
Yeah.
And unfortunately not the fun kind. Anyway,
Well,
Hey yo.
matter of perspective, really.
anyway,
Well, prize on for Balneas.
It was probably fun for him, yeah.
and then
fair.
Vash proceeding to hold person Brolnaeus, which allowed Sula to escape. And once Sula removes the cloth, it was captured on video of the eyes, and you see the people in the.
I don't think.
Or would it have been in view?
Probably not, because it's only Vash would have.
No one would have.
potentially-
I
looked in
also
his
had a
eye.
camera, and it absolutely would have been in view when you were with me.
Didn't you deny a camera because you didn't want your stuff to
No,
be
they
tracked?
forced one on me,
Ah.
and then I've
Then we
agreed.
have your view too.
What
true.
happened? What my agreement is they can never release any information about the things recorded in my camera
Right.
to anyone except the High Command. Everyone else is forbidden from seeing it.
Right. Right.
And the stuff with Sula's eyes, Vash would have talked with Camp about not revealing with Jefferoth specifically. As Vash has made a vow not to reveal it.
All right. Either way, it still gets caught on camera here, and the detainment squad looks very uncomfortable suddenly, and they start shooting Sula uncomfortable glances.
Since the
they're not
cat
do-
is out of the bag, can I'm just gonna take this off now, if you don't mind.
No, please leave it on for now.
Okay.
We're just it's not necessary. Either way, that's not really what we're going to bring it up, but it's not really what we're here to talk about mainly. We're here to talk about the blatant assault and battery of a what's the term?
Member of the group.
Out of character. It's it's like underling, but like the professional term for underling.
Constituent. Smile.
I don't really know if that's the term.
I don't think that's what that word means.
No.
But you know,
No, not
Employee,
employee.
Drew.
It's
intern.
No, it's not intern.
it's subsidiary?
Subordinate.
Subordinate. That's the one. The
Okay,
blatant assault and battery of a subordinate during a active mission contract. There have been other instances of this noted, not just in this group, but in other groups and the like, so that's not entirely uncommon, but the nature of it is exceptionally disturbing. It's more than just a slug on the shoulder or the like, but this is blatant, violent behavior. Hence why we are holding this session. Taking into account Brolnaeus' previous crimes, I'm just going to say it as it is, with the incident at Juvatun, which, by the way, for those of you who are unaware, is the name of the town that was unfortunately exterminated by Brolnaeus' ability. Upon that, there's another uncomfortable sort of edge in the detainment squad, and Brolnaeus finds a couple of the radar guns subconsciously pointed in his direction, or general direction. They're not turned on, but they're, sort of... Anyway, that...
They're ready.
The camp has decided to review Brolnaeus' detainment contract. Previously, it was to be decided by the camp that he is to be a member of a group that has been supervised and taken care of, that he is allowed out of the camp so long as he is on a mission, but otherwise is banned from leaving the camp, and that he's unable to harm any members of the camp or unintentionally. Sorry. That he's unable to intentionally harm a member of the camp, which, as we can see here, that part of the contract was broken, meaning that the consequences need to be enacted. Unfortunately, they were not at that point described in words and writing in the contract, and so it is between the group leaders and the camp leader, myself, to discuss the consequences for this action. So, what are your ideas or thoughts Easily.
Before you move forward, you're not even gonna let me defend myself.
I was about to say we should at least hear
You haven't
why
even
it
considered any evidence.
Well, let's be clear about this, Bromnace. The evidence is that you violated the contract.
I accept that.
Deciding the punishment requires evidence, yes, but not evidence in that sense. I would like to know why you did it. It's
Understandable.
important.
In that case,
What-
we should turn
What
it over to
changed that you have
Bromnace
violated the contract?
to discuss what the issue is. So, defendant, what is your explanation?
If you would please just read my mind.
Unfortunately, I don't think all of us can do that.
He can
Well,
explain once it's done.
Can't you explain?
may be able to set up a bit of a psychic link.
I'll bring the thoughts to the surface.
Understandable. Those of you with rings of mind shielding and the like, please allow me to access your brain for this simple interaction. That way I'm able to project it into your mind for the purposes of the court.
I advise a bit of caution, just because even I don't know what will happen if a psychic link is connected. So I'll be ready to.
This is a one-way link, to be fair.
Okay. I genuinely don't know that, and I don't want to cause any troubles with it.
Fair enough. I was just mainly saying that the rings will prevent me from projecting things into your brain, so I will need your mental consent to do so.
Alright, I'll give him access to my mind.
Right. Will Jeffermet be doing the same?
Yeah, he'll have mental consent.
Alright. That allows him to project the information that he's reading off of Bromnace's brain, which involves the... does that involve the... Bromnace, explain to me what you're projecting to Jeff.
Alright.
There.
They see the
Every
Zadia
line.
date, the madness caused by it, Bralnace's anger, the dungeon, Prowler's death, his reversal, and everything kind of in between. Brolnaeus doesn't hide much. He is far too pissed off to really hide all that much.
Is there anything specific you do hide?
Well, before that, I have a quick question. Wouldn't causing madness in someone be technically a way of attacking them?
Yes. Sula has committed no less than 3 crimes in Bralnaeus' memory here.
But you have to remember, I'm not that same Sula that committed
Exactly.
that crime.
These are a separate memory, and that is clear. There is one thing Bralnaeus hides. He doesn't show the cards being drawn. He only shows his effect of using the fate to turn it back.
Does he also show how he got the information that it was Sula?
He will show him using a card effect to gain that information. And then subsequently the interaction with Johnny, how he's learned about Sula's very deep connection. And that's
I'm gonna make a roll. If it's 20 or below, I will need everyone to make me wisdom save. It is not 20 or below. But it is close enough that I will have everyone... You feel a twinge upon hearing Johnny's voice. As if your mind is pulsating, wanting to break ever so slightly, but everyone is able to resist
I'm being chillin'.
And then
Sure.
as
Sula
the
is being
memories
chilling.
and feelings draw to a slow lull, as Brolnaeus was suppressing them throughout the entire second dungeon, just barely holding himself back from just snapping and yelling at Sula. Sula then turns around and instigates him more. And then, of course, the snapping point was him just calling it a summon. And, Bralnaeus treats his summons like they're his children. So snap goes the straw, and then goes the grapple. And you can just feel Brawlinus' simmering molding.
Is the claim that he made earlier that he thought about it before doing it accurate?
Yes.
I see.
His thoughts very quickly before the moment consisted of what it would do if he brought up Sula's abilities to the camp, and then he knew that while red power holders with Johnny aren't strictly illegal, they would be only shunned, and it isn't illegal. And he didn't have any hard proof outside of making a big incident, which a big incident is not something he wanted because he doesn't want a paper trail. So he didn't do that. And then there was also a little bit of Zadie in there, like before, where she told him not to do anything crazy, so he held himself back. And then the last comment came, and then he just went a little white.
I see.
Do we know that you still have a second redoing of
No,
Fae?
you do not.
Gotcha.
Considering you know how the effects of the cards work, it's possible I have multiple, but it's 99% likely I only have the 2.
Gotcha.
The 1.
You didn't even show the drawing of the cards, so we
No,
wouldn't
I
even
did
know
not.
that.
Yeah.
To be fair, Jeffmet could explain that because he was there for that.
Why
I
does
was-
his
I was- no,
why
I
does
was
he
there for that
keep
one.
getting thrown?
No, no,
why
no.
does his name
Jeff-
keep getting
Jeff-
thrown out like that?
I
He
meant
was in
Jeffermet.
there.
I meant
Shit.
Jeffermet. Jeffermet
I
was
was.
there for
Jeffernet
that.
wasn't there. Well, Jeffernet
Jeffernet
wasn't there
was
for
not
my card
there.
draws.
Yeah,
Yes, he
I was.
Sula
Sula was
knows
there.
I drew
That
double
was
Yeah.
Sula.
I know that.
Ah, right. I thought
Why
I
does
thought it was
Jeffermet
Jeffermet
keep
that
getting this type of slander?
I thought he was
so
the one
unfair.
that tricked
Come on,
Bromnaeus to drawing it.
No.
I don't have the ability to read minds, and everyone keeps thinking I do.
No,
What
no,
did I do
that's
for this?
that's not what I was saying. I'm saying the Jeffermet could have explained that to
No.
the group, but it was
First, I tricked Jeffmet into drawing, and then I brought it over.
So
to
as his
them.
memories
No.
are brought out and sent to everyone, Brolnaeus will just stare right at the because he did also show the memories of him getting hunted down by the goddamn radar gun and getting shot 20 times. And he's just gonna look that guy in the eye, not angry or anything, but just looking at him.
Unlike some of the members of the group, this guy has amazing trigger control and control of his gun. He has not pointed it at you once during this entire situation. A lot of the other people are pointing it at you currently. Like you see,
Also, Brolnaeus is not trying to be intimidated or anything. He's just locking eyes with him.
yeah, no, and he'll meet your eyes, and you feel the general sense of power come from him in that moment of, him being a black eye as you meet his eyes. He sort of has been repressing the aura for the most part, but you feel it in that moment. Hello.
I don't imagine Islay knows a whole lot about this, so can Sula be held accountable for things that happened in technically an alternate timeline, such as that?
They can be considered, but no, he cannot be prosecuted for any crimes committed in an alternate timeline. Upon the discovery of alternate timelines and that, we did have to make that illegal, as there's at least one timeline out there where somebody has committed a crime, and therefore everyone would be applicable for it. But due to the erasure of the event with Zadia, as we can see here, Sula is not currently held liable for that.
Yes,
Though
for me, I was just told not to do it.
That's
Which-
because of the card, dumbass.
Yes, I understand, you dumb fucking idiot. I'm explaining that it.
now, hold on.
just a conscious-
Let's not be using harsh language here. Let's keep things civil.
Civil, huh?
Yes, civil.
I believe that
I've
is
been
the
nothing
point of
but
this
fair
meeting.
and civil since they joined, and he's just stabbed me in the back 3 fucking times.
And you've choked me. So
Now, hold on. Let's calm down, everyone. And you feel a general wave of peace that unfortunately does not hit Sula because he has not consented it to hit him. But Brolnaeus feels a distinct wave of calm hit him. mentally that is rather effective. Though, if you'd like to make me wisdom save, you can to try to resist it.
I will, but Brolnaeus is going to fail this because he does not have any
I
wisdom.
mean, hey, you could nat 20.
You can that
Deep
20.
in that one.
He's so good.
You feel a wave of calm hit your brain, and it's not like an overwhelming wave of calm.
Everyone
Like
use the
you can,
bathroom real quick.
you can still feel your anger, but you feel less inclined to act on it. So that you can still feel your own emotions, but you don't want to necessarily shout or yell at Sula right now. All right. So, from what we've seen here, the thing that we do need to consider is the premeditated murder as well. As it can be argued that Sula is not the same Sula, as his events have changed, but Brolnaeus still has the memories of that entire encounter. Seeing as how he has not moved towards going through with anything of the sort, we do need to discuss that as well.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, I haven't done anything to Zadia since.
Sula, let's allow Brolnaeus to make a defense of the sort.
You know what? I'm just fucking done. Do your damn worst. This shit. My god.
Easley, what are your thoughts on the matter?
What crimes has Sula actually committed?
From what we can see here, murdering a summon, which is, depending on the region of the planet you're in, different varying levels of illegality. In Solar, the laws
Jeffroth can feel Brolnaeus's anger twitch just a bit when he calls it a summon instead of its name or something else. That hit a very, very currently sensitive nerve.
You're gonna start choking him out?
Brolnaeus, he turns to you. Brolnaeus, it is the legal term for it. For Prowler. The legal term for what Prowler is a summon. I am using the correct terminology. I hope you'll forgive me for such.
I can't wait
Personally?
for the summon right argument to happen.
Personally, I don't agree with what he did. I don't think it was right. But for the sake of legality, which is what we are discussing here, what he did is not entirely illegal. It would put you on grounds for suing him, as you could do, if that is entirely within your legal right, to sue him for the death of Prowler. But it is not a jail time convicted crime. That being said, Sula has not currently done anything that is entirely illegal. Again, there are some suable offenses in there. Maybe at most I could see a harassment charge. But that's more so going to result in fines than jail time.
This is the wrong kind of music.
They've got
Listening to, like-
elevator music playing in the goddamn courtroom.
No, they have fucking the Benny Hill theme.
I was.
is what they
I've
actually
been
have.
trying not to laugh at
I
it.
know. So am I. I'm
This
like,
is so off.
it's like the most uplifting music ever, and this is
Very
Wow.
much not
This
the
is
right
beautiful.
scene for it. If it
Well,
was
y'all-
different tracks, I would have skipped the track. But it's all one video, man. There's nothing I can do about this.
Man, this flute, it's really bringing up the vibe.
I will be
Anyway,
right back. In the
anyway.
restroom.
Oh
How
yeah.
could
Okay.
you be upset
Take
with
it
that flute playing?
Seriously.
All right then. Let's give it a moment to let him get back from the bathroom, and to hopefully let the track switch onto something a little bit more grim. You know.
You just hate it when you're
Very
Yeah,
upbeat
very-
track.
very serious music switches over to fucking adventuring through the plains track.
I know, right? Like I'm grooving with this. Or like
I'm sorry that
I
I want to be adventuring through the plains.
This gives me like major Palico vibes. This has to be like a theme of a Palico somewhere, man.
Could also be like, well, it wouldn't be Chocobo. They have a very specific thing for that.
If this was Pokemon music, it wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I would get in deep trouble for Pokemon music.
Yeah, even though it should be copyright free. Smile.
It's in fact not.
Well, it technically is.
Oh, what?
It's not in Japan though, and that's where they'll get you from.
Yeah, that's so technically you are allowed to use it, but they're still allowed to take down your videos.
What the frick?
So, how
Don't you
how
love-
copyright law works is it's in the countries of origins laws that you have to follow. So while the U.S. won't punish you for using that music, Japan will go cross fucking country with a goddamn shotgun, and Japan's copyright laws are so backwards you could just about call them from the 19th century.
Dang.
I think they are. I don't think they've really changed.
Okay, music is much more aptly not as good vibe. I don't know if it's quite the right vibe, but it's definitely not.
It feels like we're in a Pokemon battle. Like Trauma, I choose you, kind of thing, you know?
I choose you.
Anyway, let's see.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. Perfect timing. All right,
Yep.
so let's see, where were we? So,
Legality.
Islay, what are your thoughts on the matter, as seeing as how Brolnaeus has decided to not say anything further?
Hmm.
In terms of the, if you recall, the premeditated murder and how his actions may or may not still be applicable.
I thought thoughts and action during a different timeline were being considered. This seems
If-
kind of two-sided to me.
Now, something to consider is that you not only were the person that made that new timeline, or made this new timeline rather, but you still have the entirety of the memories from the previous timeline. Sula, who has had no knowledge of that previous timeline, and therefore has no knowledge of the actions that may or may not have been committed, is unable to be convicted for the crimes that he committed in that one. Admittedly, there's still a question of it for you, which is hence why I'm asking Islay about it, as his thoughts.
Hmm. I think, considering what happened in that timeline, is unfair to Brolnaeus, and also unfair to Sula in that sense too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what happened in that timeline should be thrown out.
Understood. In that case, we shall disregard the information, or a portion of the information. Obviously, we can't entirely disregard it now, but
We can't disregard the fact that he did still change the timeline.
yes, he did still erase an event from history, which is notably concerning.
Especially
though
since he can do it again.
he can what?
Yes. He can do that twice. Once more.
Oh, I see. And I don't suppose there's anything we can do about that?
No, unless you want me to get more in contact with Johnny to have a talk, but I doubt that is the case given the situation.
I think I'll pass.
I suppose if we were to enable a reality anchor in the area, or deploying a reality anchor in the area, it might make it a little bit more difficult, but seeing as how it's literally divine intervention, I'm not sure what we
I
could
don't
do.
think it would matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd just be wasting resources.
Yes, so which would be a lot of money. Reality anchors are not cheap.
It's not really worth it.
Yeah.
Well then,
Well, let's see. What we could do, perhaps. I suppose we could try to get a different divine entity involved. That just feels a little out of our realm of expertise.
that sounds like a horrible idea.
Yes, you're right. You are correct. All right. Well, regardless, let's look at the assault and battery charges then. From what we've seen here, I wouldn't necessarily call it premeditated, as there wasn't as much of a. Yes, it was considered the consequences, but it was not premeditated. So, it is a passion or flare of the moment type crime.
Definitely wasn't a flare of the moment per se. He had time to think about it, thought about it, and then decided to still do it.
Which
I
is
wouldn't
fair.
say premeditated, but I also wouldn't call it heat of the moment.
He decided not to do it until Sula made that second comment.
Yeah, I still stand by what I said.
Yeah,
It doesn't really
Yeah,
change it.
he's right here.
fair enough. That is a valid point. Let's see.
Hmm.
The issue is now there are also issues within the group itself, within the dynamic of the group. And normally in this situation we would split the groups off into separate units, but I'm not sure. That would be up to the group leader to do so. Which would require splitting of leadership. Which would essentially cause, in this situation, the vice leader would become the leader of the new group. The leader would be the current leader is still the leader of this group. Any overlying contracts would need to be rewritten and gone through, and there'd be a bunch of paperwork that needs to be done. But it would allow us to diffuse the situation by splitting people up. Normally, I would submit.
And how would that work for me?
Seeing as how your contract is with Brolneus himself, that you would go with whatever group he ended up in. Though, considering that the severity of the crime itself, I would normally contact the local authorities. But due to the contract we have with the detainment, we would need to... This is such a bungled situation. Alright, let's...
Sula,
Yes.
why did you kill Prowler?
Thank you. I was. Well, as was just revealed to us by Blondeus here, and as everyone is now aware, I have a contract with Johnny, or Casquette, as many of you are likely familiar with his name. This is actually not a contract I made. It was one made for me when I was but a child. The terms of the contract, there are many. As for what is important for this conversation, is that Johnny limits my power and takes away the madness that would normally come from it. In exchange, I must keep favor with him. Makes sense?
Yes, that's understood.
Okay. As part of this deal, he is able... The more favor I have, the more abilities I'm granted. Which tend to... Johnny can also take said points away if I refuse to do an action he commands of me. So, in the dungeon, when Prowler was down, I was given a choice as to whether to attack Prowler and kill it, or let it live, die. It was close to death anyways, so I have no idea what the result would have been. and lose some favor. Now, I would be lying if I said I thought about not killing him. I genuinely did not want to. However, if I were to have refused and lost favor, I would have lost a very important ability that ensures my eyes always hit their mark, so to speak. It's very useful later when tackling the boss. And had I not had that ability, some actual lives would be lost.
Can we get that footage then?
Yes, let me send for it real quick. Alright, here it is. He pulls up the footage of the Frostburn dungeon, of both the incident of Prowler dying and of the boss fight as well. Alright, let's see. The issue with these is that the cameras don't really capture ability usage. So we're not quite sure how well you would have normally been able to hit. So
I can promise you, I spent a lot of time trying to break him down normally with my continual gaze, but alas, it never worked until I used my extra abilities.
It appears in this dungeon you activated a sort of form of...
Entropy,
We don't have...
yes.
Yes, we don't really have any video footage from you in that moment. But the little bits we have seen... we see a red aura on some of the edges of some of the videos, and he sort of points it out. Because of this, we don't really have any footage of you using your abilities directly on the boss. Obviously, they were used, otherwise the fight would have gone very differently, but...
Well, let's get some testaments to that to be sure.
Yes.
We can't really see them being effective. We can't be sure.
So I would ask that those involved in the Frostburn dungeon, if they would like to, they may come forth and give their testimony in terms of the usefulness of Sula in this combat.
Jephamet will step forward. Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't looking, so I can't be too sure. Oh, I can't be too specific, I should say. But seemed to help us quite a lot. We were in a bad situation even with it, so I'd say it helped a lot.
Fair enough.
I would say the same.
Vash, you did actually get to see a little bit of it. Because you were out of its range, you were fine to look at it.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
We would have seen the view of it.
Oh yeah.
But which, by the way, upon that, there would have been another like sort of discomfortable air sort of move through the room again from the detainment squad. As they see this form of you, and you see a couple of the sort of subconscious body language points of the radars in your general direction as well. Not all of them, but a couple of them. All right. Let's see. In that case, it is up for us to decide if the death of Prowler was worth it in this case. Do you have a sort of scale that you measure this favor in?
Yes. If I were to put it on a 100-point scale, I could. Technically, it would go over, but you get the gist.
Fair enough. So you're saying that you were currently in very high favor with Johnny, right? With
Yes, I was
him.
currently thought to be at max favor.
I see. So you were thought to be at max favor, when you were given this choice.
Correct.
All right. Well, but it put you over max favor.
That is correct. It was either I go way above max favor or I lose a lot of favor.
How much is a lot in a scale of about on that 100 scale? How much favor would you say you would have lost?
I would have lost about 20.
I see. I see.
Hmm.
Mm,
Would that have locked you out of any other abilities?
yes.
Yeah.
What exactly would you have lost in that situation?
I would have lost my ability to essentially auto hit with my eyes, and I also would have lost my ability to gain more charges in the item used to go into that avatar of entropy state that you saw.
Hmm. I see.
Unless I cause madness, absorb it with the item, the only way to get it would be for it to be absorbed naturally.
Hmm. I see.
Hmm.
Ignoring the just continuously disturbing nature of that whole item, then, in that case, well, I suppose if it's absorbing it, it's not as...
It has the ability to both absorb and release.
Hmm.
Jail time or jailbreak.
I'll be right back.
I see. Well, definitely...
Definitely interesting.
Do you mind if we have call the appraiser in to appraise the item for us so we can understand it more fully?
Sure. But if we're on the topic of favors, I also have a small one to ask.
Yes, what would that be?
That everyone in this room sign a contract to not share any information outside.
Oh, it's actually, and you see him. Jared, do you mind? And you see Jared appear. Yeah, what is it? You mind revealing the general cap contract for us? Oh, yeah. Here. And he pulls out the contract that you all would have signed upon during the camp. And one of the stipulations is that any legal issues, essentially, it has a built-in NDA for in-camp legal disputes. That any uninvolved parties are not to be
legal disputes, as you see in that first video footage. My private information was so publicly shared.
Yes. Hence why said information would be protected by this specific NDA, as it was evidence in a legal dispute.
Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure that incident can't be repeated again.
Yes, though considering the I see. Considering the recent data leak we've had though with the Adventurers Guild,
I'm back.
probably best if we write up a more specific one for this situation. Yeah,
I would like nothing more.
understandable. Would everyone in this room be willing to sign a contract describing that they are unable to share the contents of either any evidence or discussion during this
No.
dispute?
Well then,
That
seems
does.
like
I've
an
already
important
made a
member.
vow to not share information with.
See, the main issue here is Brolneus, seeing as how
Yes.
he has denied to sign the document.
After everything he's done to me?
I-
Fucking really?
You do know
And
that,
after what he's gonna get away with and continue to do.
Bernays, you are aware
I do
that
not want to listen to you.
keeping this
Every time we've talked, you've pissed me off more and more, and I just got to the point where I'm not angry right now. So please, do not make me angry.
I'm trying to say that keeping this information private is actually of benefit to you.
True,
I don't
as a
to
lot of
explain-
things described in this legal constitution would include the information of the previous timeline and the how do you put it? Premeditated murder charges that would have been executed over on that side. While we may
That's
not be
already
able to-
barred by the NDA.
But that NDA seems to be being bypassed by someone because of its loose terms. We've already
Yes.
established this.
The more specific a contract is, the more powerful it is. It's that's how it works for a lot of contractual abilities and the like. The more powerful the restrictions of the contract, and the more specific the restrictions of the contract, the more powerful and binding it is. As you've noticed, the not harming anyone in the camp, you were able to breach during your interaction. Because it was a very general thing. The amount of people protected by that specific line is in the thousands. Meaning that it's not quite as strong. So you couldn't quite kill him, but you could, as we can see here, assault him. Hence, as evidence as to the less binding nature of certain vague estimations.
I've never had any intention after the time stopped to hurt him.
Either
The
way.
choking of him speaks otherwise.
He forced my hand.
He did nothing of the sort.
No, he did not.
Having forced your hand implies that he was going to
Controlling you.
hurt you unless you did that to him.
I have
Listen,
no
he
intention
forced
on signing.
he forced his hand around his throat. It's not his fault he choked.
It's not Paul Mays' fault that Sula literally picked up his hand.
Which I
Well,
assume
it's-
is monetary.
Oh, it'll be more than just monetary, Brolnaeus.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, that could be part of the.
I
con-
love
it's
getting a
ev-
knife stabbed into my fucking back even more.
What? As you see as Jepperalt looks over at Easley and just gives him the most suffering look.
As much of a kangaroo court as this already is, I don't care to make it more of a kangaroo court by letting our feelings get in the way.
Yes. And so,
We need to be jumpier.
as part of the punishment, I think we need to take a brief recess to figure this out. Those of you who are of the detainment squad, I will need you to sign this new contract. Also, as we've been talking, as you guys have been talking, Jared has written up a new contract that involves a more specific NDA of this specific courtroom case. That involves leaking of neither testimony, mental impressions, or evidence to anyone who has not already been inside this room during the proceedings and has been acknowledged by members of the court. So, the entire detainment squad signs that. Jared passes over to the group to have them sign it.
Islay will say.
Testimonies, evidence, or mental impressions provided by this court case to anyone
Gotcha.
who has not already been inside this room and acknowledged by the members of the
I
court.
should sign the contract. That's not too bad for me.
I don't think so. So actually tell what Bash's name is on this contract.
Yeah, Jeffamet doesn't sign
Kind
it.
of an
also.
important thing to sign with a true name.
It is, yes.
I can't sign it.
Bro
I'm
doesn't know his
joking.
true name.
Yeah, I don't.
I also can't sign it. That's why I don't. Lamau.
But it is also obvious that
You don't want your information
know.
getting out anyway.
yeah, I don't want my information getting out, and there isn't a whole lot on Brolnaeus to give out.
They can have you still sign your name, so it's still
Our contract binding.
yes, not like power binding.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll get behind that.
you
And I'll
can't have.
say as I sign it.
Yeah.
I'll say as I sign it. If the cult finds out about what happened, just know it wasn't me.
What is that? It's not important. By the way,
But
I will
no,
have a talk with
that's
you
exactly what
in
it's
a
about.
bit, Sula, as I believe there are some things we need to discuss in terms of your history.
I believe the first thing we must discuss.
A situation sorted out, because Sula, you are not innocent in this
No, you did still kill
court case.
Paolo.
From, in my opinion, of that, but
I would
I
agree.
understand
I
this
gave
point.
you a warning.
Well,
Told you
you
not to
did-
do it again, and you.
about that then. Never mind.
Yep.
Can't use that.
But Sula did reveal the information. It would be viable, or whether or not we could infer that. But we probably couldn't, to be fair.
No.
But
Well, we could infer something about it that Sula was there, but as far as what I was going to say, there is no inferring that.
No,
me
no.
tricking him into drawing. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you
there
can't
is no
infer
inferring.
They call a recess. Only the leaders of the Tenement Squad. The Tenement Squad itself follows out Brolneus, or recess of the defendants. It is protected. It is shielded.
Brolneus will just kind of have a summon an infestor into his lap, and he's kind of just holding it, petting.
To you, not like your abilities being fully hampered or actively hampered, but there is somebody there who probably has a passive ability weakener. But ability weakener and ability nullifiers are two very different. Yeah, it's quite a bit more difficult for you to get the infestor through, but you can feel that it is not even remotely impossible for you. So, Jefferoth, Sula. Actually, would Sula be in the room, or would prosecution would not be in the room? No, it would be Jefferoth, Easley, and maybe Auroris, which is the
Do we
one
want
black guy teleporter
this
guy.
to be public? Is my question.
I'm not really in the room.
I got you. I got you, dog. No worries.
I appreciate it, brother. All right, so
Oh, there we go. There's Sam.
Yeah, you didn't drag it on my bed.
Oh,
What a
sorry.
good writing.
What are your thoughts currently on punishment?
I think as it relates to his contract with the group, or I guess the camp, I do
yes.
think that's a difficult case. I
He did
can see it from
blatantly
his
breach that.
perspective. I can see it from his perspective. He did breach it, and not a breach of the contract. By the time he had picked him up by the throat, he did not have intentions to kill, despite previous intentions, I suppose.
Or otherwise to
I-
harm, yes, I did feel that.
So I think that we can almost entirely write that out as being a part of this, but the assault and battery should still be considered in full.
Mm-hmm.
The breach of the prior contract, I think, should almost be written out.
I'm worried about the vagueness of it, right? He was able to do this despite that contract being active.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that there is some sort of loophole with that. It means Jared might need to go
Or
through his...
it might have something to do with the dungeon. The Johnny iconography, if you would.
Yes, violation as well. The exact action may have been viewed in slow motion. And obviously, if you're going to harm somebody, the, I guess, intent of the contract holder, aka Jared, or the camp technically, that grasp took, I imagine, at least an hour in terms of dilation. Meaning that from the perspective of the outside world, he was simply bringing his hand up.
A good idea, but there are some factors that could have definitely affected it.
Yes.
So it might
Yes.
not
Yeah.
be as much of a problem with the
For how Brolnaeus has not been signing some of the legal documents that may be required to be signed by specific things. That NDA
Yeah, it's
agreement
one
that
of
we just
these-
signed need to. It's an incredibly necessary document.
I don't believe we can force him to sign anything.
No, that's
unless we
not how it works.
unless we have it as part of the. He gets an even worse punishment, I suppose.
Hmm.
So essentially, we're offering him an ability to lessen the severity of his punishment should he willingly sign the NDA agreement, to sign agreements that he would normally be unable to, or normally be entirely against signing for the purposes of, I don't want to call it selfish means, but for the purposes of not providing protection for specific members of the party.
Perhaps we force time off. He needs therapy,
Yes.
and he needs it bad. I don't. At this point, I'm not sure if I really care whether or not he thinks he needs it.
And could be a viable punishment for him.
I think it should be included in his punishment with the forced time off. I don't think it should be paid. I don't think he
I
necessarily
agree with that as well.
needs the money, no matter what.
Oh yeah, no, especially not after you've gotten paid for this last mission. If he manages to burn
Mhm.
through that, that is entirely on him. Many people could live for multiple years on that.
Court-mandated therapy, what else? Obviously, which that's a maybe right now.
Yes, but we can discuss that after the
There
Brolnaeus
will
punishment.
be a restraint.
It would make them working together very difficult, depending on the range of
Well,
the
that-
restraining order.
Well, that's why the restraining order would go away once he's, assuming Sula is still a part of the group, once the paid time off, the restraining order can be rescinded.
Oh, I
Ah,
thought you meant
I
that
see.
permanently. I can
No,
to that.
it's only during that time so that he might lose his marbles again.
Yes.
And also prevent Sula from committing further harm.
Yes. We got what's her name? A restraining order for him too.
Zadia, yes.
Zadia, yes. Thank you.
Or at least bring her into the discussion of such an action, see if that's something she would be willing to accept.
At least make her
Yes.
aware that she was.
After Brolnaeus in some way, shape, or form again.
Yes, indirectly go after him. Also,
Because we have to have her sign the NDA as well. Of you to be very reasonable.
sign the NDA and other agreements as specified in the future. Or in this set where he doesn't decide to do that, which I feel like should be much more extensive and much more obviously punishing. It did mandatory time off with admittedly court paid psychological care should be required for both.
Yes,
I agree.
almost certainly.
Yes,
Both
man
seem-
desperately needs psychological care.
Perhaps something we should set straight is how long this time off would be, as it might
Yes,
be extended if he decides not to
commits
sign
more
anything.
actions. Yes.
If he commits more actions, then I do not believe that he is breached.
Yes.
And at that point, it should be enacted. And, well, I believe breaking that contract for him would mean
Government authorities, yes.
exactly. So, should he pursue further actions?
What's this about with the people coming after him? I briefly caught that during the mental transfer.
Yeah, I get some of that
What?
every now and then too. Apparently, he has people after him. I
Something about a warning. Yeah.
genuinely have no idea.
I
There's no
briefly
way
caught the time frame of a day and a half in there, which is concerning to me because that's not too far out. That's actually around the time we're intending to.
he's truthful about that, or
If the
saying
warden wants him, right, then of it, if nothing else. That he is the primary target and we should treat it as such.
Yes. Of authority this warden might hold.
I don't remember.
That we
What
may
is
need
the-
to.
You know.
Then we need to defend him because that's not of his memories over the time he's been here. At first it was intentional. Since I've got the initial glimpse of it, it's been much less intentional. They did some horrible things to him.
Then what should we do if it is an official organization?
Is there anything we really can do? Legally, I mean?
Well, if we know
Appeal,
what
I
organization
suppose.
it is, we'd have a better idea. If it's like a shadow organization, and the people a part of it supposedly don't exist, what can we be punished for?
Fair. That is valid.
Especially if they attack us, we would be within our rights to defend ourselves.
Yes. I can come into contact
Do
with a
we have
couple
the
of
right
my...
to defend Bronneus if it's an official organization?
To be fair,
I don't think by physical means. I think we'd have to just take it up with a higher court.
yes. Which another thing I should specify, by the way, is the status of the world as it is now. If it's not something that's within the regional government, if it's something more of like a global government sort of situation, then that would obviously be over our heads and we would just need to hand him over. But the issue is, so far as I've been able to tell from reports, the world capital is gone.
That's worrying.
Yes, while I was visiting the capital for the court case, I heard mentions of the fact they have not received a message from, or a communique from the world government since the event.
Has anyone been sent over to see what happened?
I briefly saw mentions of, heard mentions of, rubble. But that's, I don't know if that was a specific region of the capital or if it was the entirety of the capital as a whole. Either way,
concerning the event, some of the capital might be worse than rubble. Might be nothing.
True, considering what happened, yeah.
Might be like a bog. You guys don't get that. Never mind.
What?
Are you all? You all?
Another timeline stuff. I genuinely have other timeline memories.
I forgot
Also,
about that part.
Wait a second. Do you have any memory of this other timeline as well? With
Yes.
the oh, I see.
wait.
No, I believe he means the Bronneus one.
Yes, that is what I mean.
A little bit, but I wasn't very involved in that.
Directly what was happening. Fair enough.
Yes. Aside from, I mean, I know he changed it, and I know everything that he revealed to us, but if I wasn't there to witness anything, I couldn't remember it.
I see. And to be fair, depending on how hazy it is, I can't really expect you to have come to me with any of that information.
Yes.
Well, let's see. All right. So, I'm thinking perhaps we... Well, let's sign down the punishment now. In the case that he doesn't sign the contract, shall we say... I don't want to say a full day. Honestly, I think he needs more than just a day of mandatory court time.
I agree, although that's fickle. Also, something I would like to say is I don't think he should be vice leader anymore.
Oh, agreed, 100%.
I think
Should have his...
That's sort of unspoken. Who should be the vice leader then?
Does the group need an acting vice leader?
For purposes of missions, it would be preferred, yes.
I suppose Acaris is
No,
the most...
Acarus signed on with Bronneus? Would that be
That's-
Yes,
sort
Acarus
of
is not currently
roundabout at that point?
Acarus is not currently a member of your group in terms of the contract he has signed. He is currently a bodyguard for Bronneus.
I mean, if we were to change that potentially, but
Oh, fair enough.
Vash
Not
is-
Vash.
and
I'll
Sula clearly
that
not.
forward.
Jeffermet, I'm a bit worried with his allegiance to Sula.
Jeffermet seems calm and collected, but I agree. I think he might be too close to Sula, too.
Yes, and I mean, at
Is
least
there a good option?
my thought process is,
Hmm.
Sula is at least outwardly chaotic, so to speak. Jeffermet might be a bit more conceited in that matter.
He's
Mhm.
with Sula, so it's possible.
Yes. So
To be
I think
fair,
our best.
in terms of what would need to happen, we could either bring Acarus in as vice leader and bring him in as a member of the group. But the issues with that is the pre-existing contract he has with Bronneus.
What about Talos? Would he be
That-
viable?
That is an interesting idea.
Because he would be there for the missions as, he's part of the ship.
We would need to give him a more direct commander role, which would need to allow him to communicate with you while you're on the mission. Though
mean,
it,
I'm sure
wouldn't
we
be,
could-
it wouldn't be that difficult to patch him into your cams.
Exactly, and I'm sure me and Isla can create something to, have him send part of his AI into, so he's still with them on their missions.
Yes.
I mean, I've been working on something I might call similar to that, but it's not really Talos, so...
Mhm.
I just don't think it's too far out of our
think we
intellect
could-
to be able to create something like that. I feel like that's fairly simple.
We would
Do you
need
think
to take Talos and put him under a test of his current sentience level. As in order to be a member of the able to sign contracts, you do need to be above a certain sentience level. If he does reach a certain point, though, it would allow him to contractually sign power contracts. We have found that, at least with Jared's power, some AIs are able to sign contracts while others are not. We compared this with the Starine AI sentience charts, and above a level of about 7 or so, in terms of AI sentience, we have found that, or is it 10? It might be 10 actually. I'd have to check the research again, but above a certain point, they gain a true name. They gain a soul, rather.
I feel like Talos is our best option and probably the one that we'd be able to quickliest put in charge.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Although
problem
you said
with Talos,
you said you were
the
building
problem with-
something, right, Islay?
yes,
Hold on,
the problem with Talos is that he is... How do I phrase this? Under my control, if that makes sense. In a sort of broader stroke way, I don't really control him, but he is, for all intents and purposes, loyal to me. Which, technically speaking, isn't a problem, but also could be a problem.
It may cause some issues in terms of some conflicts between leadership. So what we could do is split up the vice leadership between acting vice leadership in terms of missions and management vice leadership. In which case, I believe Aurora's here might be the best in terms of management vice leadership.
I do have that experience.
I could agree with that.
So we make if Talos abides by a certain level, we make him a separate entity. Which, to be fair, we could also have somebody have him edit his own code if he's above us that point, to allow him to no longer be wholly and fully loyal to you in terms of
Ask him to
control.
himself, I think. I don't know what level of access he has.
You'd have to check that. To be fair, I don't think, if I'm correct, you weren't the one that made the AI for that, right?
No, but I could check.
We had some help.
It's not that I couldn't make the AI so much as I didn't have the time to make the AI, so I do still have access to his code and everything.
Fair enough. Well, we'll check. Self-sufficiency is part of is one of the determining factors for the minimum requirement to develop a soul. So, in order to make him real, we might need to make him entirely self-sufficient, which
Fair.
would require cutting the ties of pure and unquestioning obedience to you. Though, admittedly, he might still follow your directives as habit. But that is
Fair
different
enough.
than coded obedience. Anyway,
Mhm.
so, that being said, back to Brolnace's punishment. So, regardless of which one he chooses, he will need mandatory psychiatric care, mandatory time off of varying time depending on if he does or not. He will be removed from vice leadership position of the group. And let's see.
What is it called? Restraining order from
Yes,
for
restraining
Sula,
orders.
and Sula for him. Probably Zadia too, though obviously her consent on that.
Yes. All right. Are there anything else we want regardless of signatures or not?
I would like information on the warden. That
All
would
right.
help us greatly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if it should be required. But that's a sort of weird area there, because if we don't have it, we can't really help him, but if we do have it, you know.
Yes. It definitely would also help us determine our stance in terms of legality.
Mhm.
I can also contact the Solaran government and see if they have any people who might know of the organization so we can learn the name of it.
Fair.
I do have one question we should probably get sorted out. In
Yes.
terms of the restraining order,
Yes.
Sula and Brolnaeus both live on
The Mechanica, yes.
and although their rooms can be like in different dimensions, it doesn't change the fact they're still close proximity and walk through a common area. As I feel like as it is Brolnaeus' punishment, he should be the one to reside in a standard
External housing unit, yes.
Yes.
I could agree to that, though it'll have to suit his power needs, but I don't think it needs to do what his current room does.
Fair.
Yes, I can agree to that.
I believe letting his creatures exist as they should is probably for the better, but I also don't think he should be allowed to delve further into his madness in there by doing what he's been doing in that room.
Yes. We should also probably put a restriction on how far he can send his creatures away from himself in camp, because I've gotten quite a few complaints about the critters
Perhaps
as they've
we
been
just
traversing camp.
force him to rally them up.
Yes. Keep them around himself, and he's not allowed to send them out without supervision of either himself or another member of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Not Acorus, though.
True.
I feel like
Acorus is currently... isn't he tied into Brolnaeus' power at this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perhaps we get Acorus a restraining order for Sula and Zadia too. Not of his own fault, but because if he is a part of Brolnaeus' power, then Brolnaeus can access them through him.
Yes, that is true.
Although it might be a little unfair to him, it would be...
Or we can ask him if he might be willing to break the connection temporarily during this period.
I don't know if they can do that.
I mean,
wasn't Anna a part of his power before?
That is true. I don't know how temporary it is, though.
It's worth asking, at least.
Yes. If it is breakable with any sense of ease, I feel like should he not sign the contract, he should be required to break the contract with Acris. Though, should he sign the contracts and be the sort, we could still allow it under the condition that Acris is also under the same restraining order.
I could agree to that.
I
All
don't
right.
think, also in terms of rooming, I don't think there should be any issues with Acris still residing on the ship.
Yeah, fair
No,
enough.
I don't think there will be either.
He's just not allowed to directly interact with either of them.
Yes.
Correct.
Or with Sula, rather. He would still be allowed to interact with Zadia should she be okay with it.
Hmm.
All right. Are there any other things we need to discuss?
Not until we get Sula in here.
Understandable. All right, then.
Yes.
In that case, let's call them back in.
All right, BRB, I
Alright.
need to piss.
All right, I'm gonna
Understandable.
drag you up. I'm gonna drag everyone
Oh,
up.
I'm back. I'm back now.
Okay. I'm still.
Finally
Oh.
returned to us.
All right.
That took you guys a while.
Yes,
There's a
we
lot
did.
to deliberate on.
There was a lot to deliberate on. We have a couple questions for everyone once the court readjourns. In terms of questions about stipulations and the like.
Yeah.
Namely for like Sula and
Yeah.
Naeus and Acaris.
yeah, and for those two. Brolnaeus has two options.
You there, Dion?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So
Sam,
we all joined back
Sam,
up.
Sam went to use the restroom. I dragged him
Yeah.
up here.
Back.
Oh.
Back. All right.
All right. So, everyone gets called back in. All right. Court readjourned. Recess finished. Punishments have been discussed. So, that being said, Brolnaeus, I believe we have some questions for you regarding your bond with Akoris.
That seems a
Yes.
little unrelated, but continue.
Well, Isla, would you like to describe some of the questions we had?
How easily can you break said bond with Acaris?
And reform.
Yes.
It requires a ritual.
An
Could you
intensive
go
one.
into more detail?
It takes about an hour, and it's a blood bond, sort of.
All right.
It's
Then that
breakable.
sounds-
It's breakable, but it's not. It's not. It's neither an easy nor intensive process.
All right.
There is a bit
Yeah.
of mental strain involved, but disconnecting him from the hive mind. But that's it.
All
I
right.
see
Seems
no
easy.
problems with it.
For purposes.
In that case, there are two options. Did we have any questions we need to ask before we propose these?
We should clarify at least a little bit first.
All right.
Brolnaeus, as far as the considerations for your punishment, given your actions and your feelings and some extenuating circumstances, we have decided that as far as breaching your prior contract with the camp about not harming another member, it was not considered for this punishment. What was considered was the assault and battery of Sula.
Understandable.
Just so you understand where this is coming from, it is not related to that.
At least not directly.
Yes.
Well. All right. Is there anything else we need to clarify first as well?
I don't believe so, no.
Just asking him the
In-
question.
In that case, Brolnaeus, you have two options here. Number one, should you decide to sign the NDA as well as any other contracts that will be in the best interests of, or rather, contracts not made in bad faith towards yourself, that you'll receive reduced punishments on your punishments, obviously, in terms of reduced time and perhaps reduced actions. Should you decide to go along with the contract, or contracts plural, should they be seen fit, you will be required to give up your post as vice leadership. To be fair, this is regardless of which option you choose. You'll be required to give up your leadership of your vice leadership in terms of the group. Additionally, you'll be required to serve an amount of time of mandatory time off. And during this mandatory time off, you will be required mandatory psychological care that will take place at least 16 hours apart for the entire duration of your mandatory time off. There will be a 4-hour break between each 4 hours, 8 hours, essentially. Of course, with the sleeping power accepted. What was the other mandatory between either option?
Restraining orders.
order.
Ah, yes, restraining orders. So, during this mandatory time off period as well, you will be required to move out of the Mechanica and live in a building in the residential area of the camp. You will be unable to approach or interact with Sula at all, though, and we will discuss with Zadia as well if she would like to, on a condition that signs an NDA, of course, if she would like to also have a restraining order against Sula as well.
Additionally, as a part of that, Sula will have it'll go both ways. Sula cannot
Yes,
interact
exactly.
with you, you cannot interact with him.
Yes,
Go
exactly.
both ways.
Because you were the main aggressor in this situation, you will be the one who is forced to move out for the duration. So, should you decide to sign the contracts, the duration of the mandatory time off will be roughly about 1 day. A full day of mandatory time off. And all of the
If I
pre-stated...
may pose a question. You'll be
Yes.
taking up the slot of vice leader from now on. Currently,
will-
none of the active group members are even close to considering.
We will be discussing that after we finish with the terms of the punishments.
For both you
Very
and
well.
Sula, that is.
Yes, yes. Sula has some things that we need to discuss as well. So, anyway, that being said, should you decide to not sign the contracts, this will be increased to a 3-day period of mandatory time off, where, as you are not on missions, you are not allowed to leave the camp. Additionally, you will be required to sever your bond with Acarus, and your summons, or your creatures, your family, if you will not be allowed to wander the camp without supervision of either yourself or one of the group members. No more of them sending them off on themselves. I've gotten quite a few complaints about it. You'll be confined to...
That's odd. There's plenty of other summoners that can teleport to their summons.
Yes.
I don't see how mine are any different.
That's not a part of this conversation.
That's not a part of the conversation. Regardless, your summons would be confined to supervised areas, of either, again, by yourself or with other members of your group. Let's see, did we have any other additional breakoffs? Ah, yes. Regardless of which you decide, we will offer a full-time position in the group towards Acarus. Should he decide that? That is up to him. Anyway.
Additionally, regarding your time off, we have a few private questions we must ask you about that.
Yes. About a certain situation involving your past. Yes.
Should have left it at about the time off.
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, everyone got a glimpse of it during the mental
Yes, but
impression.
that doesn't mean they know
True,
what it's
true.
about.
True. Hence why I left it where I did. Anyway. That being said, we have some questions about that, so that we may figure that situation out. Are there any other stipulations we had?
If he doesn't break the bond, then Icarus also has to get restraining orders and all that.
Correct, regardless of which you choose. Icarus is not allowed to interact with Sula, though he will still be allowed to live on the Mechanica.
Anything else? As far as your living situation, you will obviously be provided the amenities to live. However, you won't be given the same amenities you have on the ship. So the workshop, as I will put it, you will not have access to in your living situation.
Correct. Yes.
Other than that, I can't remember anything else.
Nope, neither can I. Should we discuss the things about Sula now?
Yes.
Alright. So, as mentioned, Sula, they will have restraining orders against you, whether that be just Bralneus or whether that be Bralneus and Zadia. Because we will bring her up to speed with this, seeing as how she was involved at least partially within this case.
Understandable.
I believe, aside from that, we haven't actually discussed his punishment much.
No,
Bralneus mainly. So
that is true. To be fair, his will be much more minor, as the things he has perpetrated has been much more minor. Bralneus, at the end of his period of mandatory time off, will be allowed to prosecute you in a... he'll be allowed to sue you for the death of Prowler. Costs will be defined at the time, but that will be a allowed legal situation. Understood?
I suppose.
All right.
I believe we should call another recess and ask Bralneus the questions we need to ask, and then determine what happens to Sula.
First, let's discuss the vice leadership, or the leadership issues of the what's going to happen, essentially.
That's fair.
So, as Bralneus is no longer allowed to be your vice leader in terms of your group, we will be doing a couple of tests. A group, the vice leader, at the very least, the vice leader needs to be active on missions. As I'm sure you all can see, that could cause a bit of a problem in terms of,
That can be.
Yes. Which, seeing as how Aurorus and Islay have both provided they would like to stay on the back line, we can't really force them to come back to active duty. So, we will be conducting a test on the AI that powers your ship. Should it provide itself to be, or prove itself to be carrying of enough sentience to be granted a soul by the ether, or by the beyond, or whatever force gives souls, then Talos will be the acting mission vice leader. And then the vice leader in terms of management and control would be Aurorus. Yes. So, does anyone have any opposition to this? No? Alright then.
So be it. Not like I have a say anyway.
Ah, yes.
You
That's
are
something we should-
technically still not a part of the group, so
Yes.
technically true, yes. You do not have a say.
We really should discuss that at some point. Anyway,
I would like to, I just never get a chance.
it would be between the
Now
leader and
is
vice leader. Now is not the best time for
Unfortunately,
that.
still not the chance.
No. Though there will be time for that in the following parts.
Yes, there will.
So, that being said, is there anything
Believe
else we
now-
need to discuss? Now we need to
Now
go
it's
to.
time for the recess.
Yes.
Suppose
Um,
recess might be the wrong word for it, I'm not sure.
Now, seeing as how Sula or Poseidon will be a part of this conversation, we're just gonna make this one public because it's not a surprise. So that's,
Not a part of the fucking Brolnace conversation, it ain't.
true. Huh?
We need to talk about the
The warden.
Brolnace time off, god damn it.
Oh,
warden.
right.
That's part of the point of the recess.
Yes, that's fair. All right.
To discuss that, pretty important
Yes.
thing.
But seeing as how there would only be 2 members who would be not included in that, let's just.
I'm fine with assuming Dion is fine with it.
Yeah,
not being-
I'm always fine with most of my stuff being public.
Okay,
Alright.
then yeah, I'm fine with it being public too. It was a matter of whether or not.
I'd
Dion
rather
was okay
not
with it.
go back to watching YouTube, so
Fair
We
enough.
I
should send
personally-
Robbie back to the YouTube dimension.
I personally prefer most of my hidden stuff to be public because I trust most of you not to metagame, and it's more entertaining for you all.
Fair enough.
Because I personally despise sitting here for 30 minutes every goddamn time.
That is fair.
I
Ben.
love keeping secrets. What can I say?
He does. Anyway,
But for her, it's
It's-
like bad.
Because in this game it's never gotten worse, but in another campaign I'm in, I have I have
know
literally
Yeah.
I have literally sat in a call for 3 hours. It pissed me off
Uh-huh.
to no
Uh-huh.
end.
Yeah, I
Is it-
want you to keep referencing how bad it is having to sit in a call for multiple hours and not being able to do anything.
Is
Okay,
Is that-
I'm sorry about Drokath's intro. Will you
Real.
please forgive
So
me?
real.
You're forgiven, but I'm not letting you live it
I
down.
not
knew immediately that
buddy.
Drokath was gonna be brought up. I knew immediately.
I meant for you to have more interactivity through the dungeon. I just couldn't do it.
No, I understand it was an accident. I understand all that. I'm still
So
gonna give you
funny.
shit for it 24/7.
it's
So
kind of
funny.
like doesn't mean you get off scot free. Also, the free out campaign. Which one was that? Is that the what I'm thinking of?
Yes, you were there
Yeah,
too.
it is.
Oh, that one. I don't think
Dion has told me
Oh,
about that
which
campaign.
It was
I
like
love-
2.5
so funny.
hours. I counted.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was bad.
It's gotten
Okay,
better
and the-
though. It's not happened as recently.
When you told me about it, the campaign was at a point where constantly just that, or at least that's how
Yeah.
you phrased
Oh, it was like that for like 2 months. It was infuriating. I was at my wit's end.
To be fair, it's gotten better. They don't do that as much now. Especially
And
after
that's
you
because
brought
there's
it
no
up.
secret. There's no secrets to hide.
Yeah, it's also true.
Anyway,
If there were more secrets,
yeah.
it would happen more often. Because
So-
you know Nyx is gonna keep those.
so they send everyone back out, other than Brolnaeus, and obviously the 3 people who were already sent out, who were already part of the group. All right, Brolnaeus. So we have some questions about this warden of yours.
Yes, we do.
A look of fear and anxiety washes over Brolnaeus' face as he brings his human arm over to his flesh one and kind of grips it really hard. Yeah.
We believe you have a limited time before he arrives, correct?
Yep, that's about correct.
Yes, about a day and a half, if I remember your memories correctly. Which, if you'll notice, the not contract signed one was for 3 days, which is notably
Warden. Specifically what we can do to help you.
legally.
If this is if this is just some random cult coming for you, then we are well within our rights to help you. If this is some secret shadow government thing, it gets a lot more complicated there. And I would assume you don't want to be a fish in the water all by themselves when the stork comes for you.
Hence why I
What do
imagine
you
you
wanna know,
hired
then?
Acorus. What type of organization is it?
There's twos he's part of.
Mhm.
He is both the district warden and the Minister of Defense for the region of Cross, known as Asser.
Hmm.
His jail, the one I was confined to for my, is both the highest security power reduction jail in Cross, but it also functions as a rehabilitation and living center for people like me who have dangerous abilities above the normal classification, such as reality warpers without a trigger.
Yes, unintentional reality warpers. I have heard that they occasionally get, how do you put it, taken to areas with very powerful reality anchors. And then like places where they won't cause much harm to either themselves or the people around them. As some people's powers tend to be more of curses than actual abilities.
Underneath this facility is a black site. When I was there, I only got to explore what I think is only about half of it, through smaller creatures I had concealed. But it's around the size of a small city. He has an entire organization of mind-fucked idiots behind his command, and they're about as well geared as any military organization can be. Drop ships, intercontinental weapons, all the ropes. I think they've even got a star base, but I don't know about that.
Oh, not anymore.
Fair enough.
I know they had a few installations across the capital and in Aron, but I don't believe they had any installations inside of Sor, which is why it's taken them so long to find me.
Or if they did, it might be outside of certain areas, but I see what you mean.
Or just generally ineffective, I suppose. They could be bad at their job.
Fair enough. And to be fair, how would they have found you normally? What paper trail were you leaving? I can't think of any precisely. To be fair, didn't they... out of character. To be fair, didn't they locate him the moment there was any mention of his creatures?
Yeah.
So they're not really bad at their job. They just didn't have anything to work with. Moment they had anything to work with, they found him immediately.
Yeah, but we also don't know their tracking methods. So,
True.
as far as we know, they are just bad at their job.
Fair enough. Right.
And, maybe it's as simple as casting a location when no one did.
I do not know what his innate ability is, but he's also blessed by Jennifer. And has red eyes.
Red eyes isn't much of a thing, but Jennifer?
That's the one with lies and manipulation, right?
As in the pink goddess?
Yes.
You see a visible shudder go down Jefferoth's back.
That's so
He is able to completely, permanently mind control anyone he sees. I do not know why he never used it on me.
I have an idea. Maybe a little bit of a weird one. Really, hear me out on this. If he's blessed by Jennifer, wouldn't Sula be a great matchup for him then?
This is true.
They do hate each other.
Exactly.
Quite vehemently.
The problem is I don't know why he never used his ability on me. It would have saved him a hell of a lot of trouble.
Maybe you were his
To be fair, what if he did?
suppose that's an option.
If he's sick enough to, or demented enough even, to make a deal with Jennifer, then yeah, he probably does that for fun.
Yes, it's
But-
also entirely possible that upon the event, when the red waves crossed across the entire planet, he might have had a lot of his pre-existing connections broken.
Regardless, I don't know what his actual ability is
Mhm.
beneath his blessing. I just know his blessing is extremely powerful at the time I saw him use it.
Yes.
And I do believe Sula is our best bet. Although that's weird to
A
say.
very strange
I
bet.
do know at
Yes.
the very least
Hate it.
he is a high tier.
hmm
Of what
Lovely.
magnitude I do not know. He suppressed his own aura.
As I have seen some training done. Heck, I've even had some training of myself done. To seem unassuming.
Just lovely. Oh then.
As you said, I was most certainly his favorite plaything. He also had an obsession with the horsemen, especially my connection to two of them, and my bond with Conquest.
I see.
He also took immense glee in exploring my power and its mutative abilities. I believe he knows more about my own power than I do.
That is worrying.
Yes, it is.
I am certain, however, he currently has no samples of my power. They were taken with the Red Wave along with me,
Hmm.
which is, I am sure, is why he's so desperate to hunt me down. His little private zombie army project was probably cutting the balls.
Hmm.
If he is who you say he is, what are we allowed to do about him?
From what I know, through my political training, back in Arrow, before I came here, seeing as how he is running a black site, do you know if this black site is government owned or if it's a not?
I have not the slightest clue if it's inclined by the higher powers or if it's completely private. I just know he's the one who shut the orders around there, and no one else had any mind to say no. In fact, I'm pretty
I
sure
see.
there's only one other person in that entire facility that wasn't controlled by him directly. And that would have been his personal security.
Do you know the name of the organization?
I do not. I know
Do you
the
know the
symbol, though.
Do you know the site? Oh, the name of the site that was above the black site? Because those are public facilities.
Yes, I do.
Hmm.
It's called Black Mesa.
I see.
Motherfucker.
Dickhead. What a horrible, horrible name.
In that case, I shall discuss that with your permission. I shall see if there's any information I can glean from my political contacts, see if they know anything about the site beneath Black Mesa.
If he is trying to kill Bromnates, would we be allowed to stop him?
Let me see what I get back from my contacts. If they don't know anything, then it's within our rights.
I see.
Also,
don't know if we'd be
am
able to-
certain he would never want my death. He
I
would want to
suppose kill
capture
him.
me under anything.
I suppose kidnap you then. Doesn't
be more
change a
accurate.
whole lot.
It's still illegal.
Yes, it is still illegal, and that's the main thing. So unless he has legal permission to do it, we are allowed to stop him, right? Pretty
Yes.
sure.
Exactly.
And also, do you know where this? You said this facility was located in Cross, yes?
Yes.
Hmm. So we're
Unless
closed
it
off
was
its
bound to another
borders.
dimension and the entryway was below the facility, then I know nothing more.
I see.
If Solar has closed off its borders, then he shouldn't have diplomatic immunity.
Correct.
Especially
Means
if he
he-
shouldn't be here.
Yes, which means we should be able to close
Also,
him off.
Brolnaeus will project an image off of his multi-tool showing the symbol of the black site.
It's loading for me. Give it a second.
Same.
I see. Understood. Well, and this is the black side, not Black Mesa, correct?
No. This is the black site.
I
Black
see.
Mesa.
I'll see what I can glean. Additionally, didn't you also have an information gathering ability from the cards?
I did.
If you were to gain another one of
We've
those,
used
perhaps we
that.
could. Yes, yes. Should you ever gain another one, a good idea might be to gather the information using that.
I do have one more use.
Oh,
Well, you
Well-
could get the information that way. It'd work.
yeah, and it would be very useful for the current discussion.
Quick question: how much longer is this session going to go on for?
Not a whole lot longer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
At most, another half an hour.
All right. I assume the next half hour is just going to be more legal shit like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you mind
although
about
There might be like personal RP between characters, but you don't need to be here for that. If that's
Do you
what
mind
you
if I
want.
Well,
hop out
we'll
early?
just, like-
I'm kind of exhausted.
We'll
Yeah,
just let you
listen.
know what happens in terms
Alright.
of if you
Thank
need
you.
to sign anything or not.
Yeah, if,
Yeah.
if you need me, just send me a message. I'll probably still be up. I'm just
Tired.
gonna go late.
tired.
Yeah,
I
Just,
get
yeah,
you.
lay down. Probably watch YouTube. If you need me for like anything, just send like a fucking ad at me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I got.
See you guys.
See you, man.
See you, Ricky.
I add him right now.
Ricky, we need you.
Uh,
Everything's on fire.
So,
Just
well,
lie.
if you feel that this is an appropriate usage of it, it would be very useful. You could just ask for information about the black site beneath Black Mesa. Or
think
just
I think I have a better use of it.
yeah.
Not
Hold on.
now, but later.
Hold on. If you have the ability, if Sulu was being correct when he said that you still have one use of the redoing time, why not just make the warden like not find you or something? Like erase his birth, right?
He might be protected by
I don't believe
Jennifer.
it will work against other deities. And I
Well, if
believe
he-
once I pose my question whether it works or not, it'll be consumed.
What if we just like, what if we hit him with so much like red shunshum, right? That
Also,
it doesn't matter.
I don't mean to sound cocky at all, right? But this is the best fighting shot I've ever had in my life of getting away from him. And I'd
That's
like to
great
have
and
an ace up
everything.
my sleeve.
That's great and everything, but that doesn't mean much when you've never had a fighting shot.
He makes a fair
You
point
know.
from this.
Regardless,
if
I'd rather.
one is still greater than 0.
That's
I don't think we have one though.
I'd prefer to keep an ace in the sleeve.
Suppose that's fair.
After all, if worst comes to worst, if I can't affect him, I can affect everything else. And then I have one more try.
You could just make it so that he finds you later, yes.
Do you know what caused him to find you this most recent time?
I believe it was when reports of Harrier carrying a chair were sent outward.
I see.
Yes, that would probably raise alarm for them.
But would they know exactly where you are? They might know a general area, but they wouldn't know exactly where you are.
Well, he's been given a. I thought he was given like a concise time frame or something, so I think he does know that they know where he is.
I believe now that they've located my general location, they might be able to pinpoint through my connection to Conquest.
Hmm. I see.
The bloodlines are tied through ether, unlike anything else.
Hmm.
And I know I was not the only child there with similar connections.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Well,
I was the only one with such a hostile ability, however, so.
well, did they gather you up based on your abilities, or did they gather you up in the black side based on your heritage?
It's mostly based on awakened heritage. However, for my ability in particular, I was put into the black side.
I see.
There were others similar to me up above, and two that I vaguely remember within the black site. I never saw any more than two other people, prisoners, in the black site, though. I don't believe I was...
Pause. Hold on, Brolnaeus. A bit more information for you, for what I've developed in the back for this place. The only people in that black site, in terms of prisoners, would have been awakened horseman descendants.
Yeah.
Specifically of 2 or more horsemen. Like
So-
to yourself.
If that site contained awakened horsemen, descendants, or whatever, doesn't that mean Vash is at risk too?
Is Vash an
I
awakened horseman
suppose.
descendant?
Yes. She is of plague and pestilence.
Yes, and she's... I look around. No one else is in here but us, right?
So far as I can tell, yes.
Yes,
And no one can
she's
listen in this
insane.
room.
She is also more insane than I am.
She is more insane than he is, and that's... I mean, no offense, Brolnaeus, but that's impressive.
I realize
hard
I
to
have
accomplish.
issues.
Good.
It's not
You
good as
should-
the she is, though.
No, I'm saying it's good that he realizes
but
that he has issues.
If they're using
Yes.
our bloodline to find it, if they're using the bloodline to find me, they will sense her. And if your theory is correct that they're interested in twinned bloodlines like mine, she is also a target of the weapon. And with her similarly mutated powers and the ability to create new life like I can.
Hasn't she already made new life?
Yes, the dragon. I
Oh.
have
She
no... She created a new
He
life
would
form.
know about that as
Oh,
that was under contract and he would have been alerted.
true. Fair enough. No,
She
you make a fair
created a
point.
new life form,
Ah,
inherently
yes.
separate from all genealogy.
Right.
She's
The
Definitely
dragon.
going... There's no way she's not going to be a target then, right? Should
As
we
soon as
include
the
her
warden
in?
has information, she will talk.
Should we include her in on this conversation then, for at least her own safety?
I have no quarrels.
Alright then.
The warden has already discovered me. Well, I'll have to make a stand whether I can or not.
He looks over to the teleportation guy. Would you mind bringing Vash in here? Yeah, sir. Vash, the teleportation guy appears next to you. The boss
Yes?
would like to see you.
Understood. Vash will go.
All right. Vash, you are a descendant of pestilence, yeah?
Yes, in fact, I recently got to meet him for the first time, and that was quite interesting.
All right. Well, that
A
aside,
larger target.
yeah, that aside, let's
Just hate to hear it, don't you?
What
Really,
in...
never gets better, does it?
Oh, man.
Oh, did you all not know about
No.
the person the Adventurers Guild was him?
I didn't know that. Why did? When did we meet? When did we meet him a second time? I know about the first.
On the most recent out.
Oh my lord!
Oh,
You
is
didn't
that who
need us
that
to-
was? Oh, right.
Yes.
Footage. Yes, we sort of skipped that part looking for the aforementioned assault and battery in the recording.
He didn't require us to thrash him this time.
It is. It just keeps getting better, doesn't it?
Wait,
Truly.
wait. You said it was
always
working.
this group.
You said it was working for the Adventurers Guild, right?
Yes, he was. I believe he was disguising himself and his power to get massive amounts of money.
He said something about scamming them.
I think the
Oh.
Adventurers Guild know it's him, though. At least the first time they did.
Well, in that case, would it not be possible to turn the Warden and these people on the Adventurers Guild?
Not likely. Not if they're hiring, the big one himself. If that makes any sense. They're probably after the descendants. I kind of doubt they could. I mean, maybe they could take on Pestilence.
It'll
We
also
could
depend on
try
what their
that.
motivation are.
We could try to let them take on Pestilence.
We don't know. I don't know enough about.
So, what's this about a warden?
Ah!
We'll bring you up to speed.
Yeah.
Oh. Couldn't there be legal issues with that, seeing as I'm a dryad? Isn't that a
There's a
good way
lot
to
of-
start a war between countries?
Interesting. Diplomatic immunity for us killing him. That
Hmm.
sounded really grim, but I mean,
No,
it is
I-
something
I'm-
to be very well
That
considered.
sounds quite dark.
Yes, but it should be very considered that
Ah.
we could use that. Worst
Yes.
comes to worst.
Yes. All right. So, all this being said, this is such a mess.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
Welcome back to camp.
Yay.
Yay!
Always
Alright.
our group.
Always
I just want to
Brondeus.
say, if there's going to be a good time
Maybe.
to bring Cass back, it's going to be the time where there's someone involved with the Pink God.
Anyway, so, all right. Let's see. Let's. If we can't buy some more time. Either way, Bromneus, I definitely suggest that maybe you take the sign the contract deal for the punishment.
I intended to take the first one.
All right, good.
I made my decision after the second.
Understood. In that case, that would give you a day of mandatory downtime, which would give you still about 6 pars worth of. I mean, to be fair, you can still prepare while in camp, but out of camp preparation time.
Problem is, I still don't have enough biomass to make an Omega Tower.
Do we want you to make that, though, if the warden's coming and wants a sample? If he just wants to take it, right, he could at that point. It'd be much more out in the open.
Yes.
I could simply move it back towards me. If he wants any meaningful access to my power or my blood, he'll.
I would say hold off on an Omega Tower until we can get this situation figured out.
I don't
Resolved.
even have the resources to do it.
Fair enough.
I require 100 biomass, and I don't even have 7.
I don't know that scale you're measuring off of, but all right.
A medium creature is a single. Yes.
So do you have?
Okay.
So could I get a bit more info on this warden and potentially permission to make more specialized countermeasures against him and his followers?
Well, we don't know much about him to begin with.
That is sort of the problem, isn't it? We've not got a lot.
Just make do with what you have.
We have told you everything we know so far.
Anti-mind control disease, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
something
mean-
anti-mind control is beneficial. Could just get like mind
Mind
shielding
blink.
things, though.
Mind blink would probably stop Jessica's most powerful blessing.
Hmm.
Maybe not her most powerful, but he's
Well,
probably
the one he has.
yeah, probably his. Realistically,
The problem is I do not know his innate ability.
there is. It's a power. Never mind, that wouldn't work.
Let's see.
I also do not know the number of people he's brought with power. I do know there were at least a few high tiers within his employ. I guess mind control as private soldiers. I have no doubt he's brought at least a large contingent.
Fair.
They also have high-tech equipment, though I'm not sure if maintenance issues installed. I mean,
They're-
so long.
Getting the high-tech equipment in Solar is going to be a bit of a pain, and keeping it maintained is going to be a bit of a pain. So, I doubt we'll see the highest of tech equipment here.
Correct.
They
Yes.
they certainly won't be poorly armed.
That is for sure.
All right. Well, in that case, let's.
We can at the very least expect combat armor, shield.
Sheep.
And depending on who it is,
At least it's
I
not the
just realized
duality.
something.
Who the fuck are the
Dualities? Why are you
dualities?
bringing that up? What do those have to
Sorry.
do with anything?
We kind of got hunted by them before.
That's a like whole Moving on.
We won.
What if we were to? We did just get quite the payout.
What if we hired the dualities? I guess.
I was about to suggest yes.
Do we even have the money for that?
Well, we have
we
the
know you-
hope.
We can maybe hack into a certain mafia boss's bank account who does
What
have
if-
enough money for it.
Hold on, hear me out. What if we got that guy who stole luck?
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know
Yeah,
what you're talking
it's so funny. As you have to understand, it's so funny for me to say that.
I get any amount of explanation on what you all are talking about.
See,
I
I
don't
don't have a lot of explanation on that luck thing either, so no.
You see, Broneus is just like an itty bitty baby when it comes to like timeline shenanigans. I'm the wise old man.
He's the war criminal of timeline shenanigans.
I'm a criminal,
Uh-huh.
not a war.
You know what? I'm fine not knowing.
You're not allowed to know, so
Listen,
good.
just deals with gods are wacky. That's all I can say.
Did that come from an
Is that the story of this group at this point?
I mean, I haven't made a deal with a god yet.
Anna
I'm
has,
reluctant to believe
I
that.
had, clearly Aurorus
Hey,
has.
Anna hasn't. Anna didn't make a deal with the god.
Anna had a contract.
She's just the child of one.
Doesn't
Cass was
change.
there. Cass had one. I want to say Olgon had one.
Olgon did not have one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe.
Olgon did
Didn't have enough time
a
to ask.
shit ton of experience with gods, though, because he never liked Johnny and just flipped him off at every opportunity.
And got
So
someone killed because of it.
Real.
yeah, just a little bit. And then he killed himself by walking into a massive thing of red chum.
You know
You know
what's
what?
funny?
Suddenly I feel like
Olgon-
making a deal with an aberration isn't
Oh.
as interesting as it is when I'm in this group.
Olgon didn't knowingly make a deal with a god.
There will be what I could only refer to as
Well,
divine
what's that?
wrath if you make a deal with a god, Vash.
Yeah, I figured.
That is the only thing I can refer to how I will feel about that.
Wasn't planning on it.
Imagine if there was a god of rage. That'd be me.
I'm not planning on making a
the
deal with a god unless it's a way to save my own skin. Or
considering
whatever
the
I have
threats
out
at
could be referred to
play,
as it.
considering the threats at play when it comes to you, Vash, I'll look to the others. Should we at least offer a position in the
For that reason, I am fine with it.
I can agree to those terms. Obviously, Vash, no, you are going to be on a tight leash.
However, I do think that there might be the circumstance where, after it's done, Vash is demoted, or with our group, I'd say promoted to no longer a technical part of it.
Honestly, yeah, that would be more of a promotion at this rate.
side question, Vash.
Yes.
Has Jeffamet approached you secretly? I don't need to know what he said, I just need...
Explain.
Has Jeffamet ever approached you secret to talk about something?
Yes.
I see. He's done
Breach
the
of your
same
word,
to me.
buddy. I mean, I don't want to criticize your character, but that is a breach of your word, Robbie. You do
No,
realize
wait,
that, right?
did I say that I wouldn't say that?
Well, considering that saying that also helps the idea that I'm the one who did the card stuff for you, yeah, I'd say that's probably a breach of contract in
Oh,
terms of
in
that.
that case, Vash wouldn't say that.
What do you say?
I could either confirm or deny.
Or just
I
no
can
and
either
lie.
confirm.
Just like, I mean, I've talked with Jeffamet. Nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Lie about that while still saying, yeah, you've met with him.
I've spoken with him. Not much more than that.
Well, he approached me privately or something. So, I don't think he's up to anything. I'm just gonna say that.
Hmm.
Keep your
Man's not allowed to approach anyone privately, I guess. That's fucked up.
No
It's not a private
talking.
conversation, guys.
We do not have. Jeffamet does not have the talking stick. He cannot.
I guess not. That's crazy.
We're really gonna start enforcing that jinx.
Yeah, we are.
Alright. Ronneus, your pocket begins to glow.
The fuck? I look down.
Is it the fucking cards?
It is, in fact, the cards.
God fucking damn it!
What happened?
They're glowing.
Some normality.
Why are they glowing?
For once.
Time
Didn't
to
you
blow
say
up.
something about having to draw them every so often?
They've already been drawn.
They have
Recently.
not.
They have.
Nope. That was before you
Not
guys
dur-
took your
It
rest
hasn't
before the
even been
dungeon.
a long rest yet.
You guys didn't pull them until before the dungeon prep last session.
We haven't taken a long rest since then.
Yes,
We
you
did on the
have.
I haven't.
It doesn't matter.
This motherfucker
Also,
ain't got resources then. That's crazy.
also, you guys went through a whole sleeping par. If I recall, Bralneus went me 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 me.
There was
Yeah.
that is actually
Ralneus
true.
was
Yeah.
in fact required to sleep, so he has in fact taken a long
I forgot
rest.
about that sleeping.
Yeah, so they begin to glow.
Let me take my long rest real quick. Let me get my luckies.
That would be probably good.
Probably
Yeah.
do that, yeah.
So you're required to draw those, I take it, or someone is.
You assume a lot, Bash.
In order to satisfy deal, you shall not. Totally worth it, by the way. I don't regret.
What
I
deal?
have noticed they have benefits when doing certain things if you pull from
You
them.
saw it in my memories, but it gave me additional days. If I did not make it upon us.
You did not show the card drawing stuff, so
Mhm.
the impact did not see that.
Yep. Crazy, huh? You omitted the part that was that. Anyway.
As they begin glowing ever so brighter, you see a humanoid form begin to outline itself in the air around you. Very slowly. To the point where you have probably about a minute and a half-ish before, they fully materialize, but the form begins to look more and more
Multi,
familiar.
no offense, we're doing different RP right now. It is not random gotcha time. Put that to the side. Seriously. I'll pull them later. Not the time.
I'm bringing it up because we got about 5 minutes left in the session.
Yeah, we'll do it next session.
And we still have
not random
left
gotcha
stuff
time.
to do.
It's not the fucking time.
Alright.
We'll stick
Basically,
to it
just
glowing,
say that
and that's like a warning.
For
Alright.
glowing, saying basically warning you got a pulse soon.
Alright, sounds good.
That's them right now. They're pulsating.
Alright.
That's everything I know about the.
Then I think it's time we get you two out of here. I suppose you two can talk for yourselves and we decide what happens with Sula, and from there we can begin to plot and scheme about how to deal with the warden.
I'll
We
go
want to
ahead and
discuss this with the other members of the current active party.
Might be a good idea, I suppose.
You
Yes.
guys should be up to the two of you for now.
We also need
Depends
to
on how far you want them to get.
put Talos through those tests.
That is true. We do need to do that too. But that's a less pressing it's a
fair.
less pressing matter right now.
Alright. Well,
I suppose get out, you two.
Yes. I will do some research on figuring out ways around his mind control ability, see if I can figure something out to counter that.
that would be a good idea.
This is a good idea.
Whether
Thank
it be
you, Bash.
medical or a disease.
Alright.
Prefer magical.
For now, goodbye.
I also have a small hunch that maybe his mind control doesn't work. Who have horseman bloodlines. That's I don't have much proof for that.
Could you please repeat what you just said? Internet was
I
bad.
said Brolneus has a theory that his mind control doesn't work against those with horsemen and bloodlines. Other than never seeing one of the other prisoners be mind controlled, the guards.
Very interesting. So, is there anything else that we need to talk about this session?
Sula.
Ah, yes, right. Fair.
Obviously,
I'm gonna listen once I get back.
Alright.
So, as far as assuming they've left the room now, obviously.
Yeah.
Sula's punishment. He's not innocent in this. Obviously, the restraining orders. What else?
The right to sue for Brolneus.
Yes.
No, the
Sort of
question
more
is, how much
nice
would that really be worth it for Brolneus? Because I'm gonna be honest,
Probably.
legally, Like,
Once
and
the
given the circumstances, it doesn't look good for Bronneus.
once the warden is gone, he'll be much more free to sue. To be fair,
True,
Well, I
true.
don't mean in time. I mean in
Also,
terms of
can't
reward.
you sue for
You're not here
emotional
right now.
damages as well? He's caused me no end of heartache.
You're not here.
you're not here right
Oh,
now.
you're right. Ah!
I hate it when people do that.
What is this alternate timeline shit always going on with Bronneus?
What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. I'm actually
Anyway.
gonna include that as part of Aurorus's thing. He can see through retcons.
Lovely.
Glorious.
Anyway,
It's just I'm gonna be honest. The case doesn't look good for Bronneus. I mean,
yes, but it's his to make or ability. I suppose would be more appropriate to say.
Yes, yes. That's
How well of a case is made is sort of up to him and his lawyers.
yeah. Hmm. All right. So, in that case, let's discuss. So, Sula, what all has Sula done? Let's clarify that again.
Well, if we
Um,
want to get into the minor instances.
How are you here?
Ah!
God damn it. Okay, we need to get Bronneus on our fucking leash. I'm getting tired of his shit.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Sula?
He keeps
do you
messing with
want?
the fucking
Sula.
timeline.
That's Aurorus.
You too.
Everyone's fucking up.
I haven't fucked up yet. I don't know what to tell you.
He's like, I thank you for not messing with the timeline.
What are you
Wh-
talking about?
why
I would
don't I
never
mess
mess
with
with
the
the timeline.
You just,
I bet you thought I was going to mess with the timeline just then, didn't you?
I mean, I was hoping you wouldn't.
All right, let's get back on track.
Anyway, so yeah. You guys go through and right. So Sula has killed Prana, which while not entirely illegal, is definitely a misdemeanor.
And also had extenuating circumstances that could be argued for.
Yes, the
Yes.
pressure of a god is
Hard to deny,
extenuating for sure.
especially with
So-
it being Johnny. If it was something like the Green God, maybe, it wouldn't be the worst to get
weird.
on his bad side.
It would be a little
Yeah.
weird for the green god to wish for the death of the creature, though.
No, I meant not in terms of that specific favor.
Yeah,
but in
I
terms
know
of,
what you
like,
mean
denying
though. If it was a
god.
different god, it would be sort of a different case.
Fair.
Hmm. What? Killed Prowler.
Well, we can't really do the previous, the other timeline things, so we can't count the.
I mean, he has generally been antagonizing Bronneus, which, while not illegal, I guess the restraining order would address that. wouldn't
Cover
it?
that,
I mean,
yeah.
The question
Isn't
is, how much has antagonistic has Bronneus been to Sula at the same time?
Well, that's a good question. It's also irrelevant if the antagonizing of Sula would only be punished with the restraining order, which is the most appropriate punishment, obviously.
Hmm.
So, while that would be something to consider,
Yeah, no, I meant purely if we were to consider a new punishment for it. If
That
we're
is
just
true.
going with restraining order, which, I mean, is already going to be put in place.
yes. I don't think there's really. I can't think of anything that he's really done. I don't know what we can do.
In that case, I think the punishment that has been already applied is about as much as we can do legally.
I suppose, yes.
Hmm. In that case,
Mildly unfortunate, but not much to be done.
yes.
If Bronneus did reset the timeline, we would have had something.
If he didn't
True.
strangle him, he would have had something too.
That's
Well,
also
Could have more of something.
True.
Yeah, it would have been-
justifiable if you don't strangle the person.
True. Sulu would not have nearly the being the victim part of that to act as sort of a defense. All right. Well, in that case, I think that's what we can do. And that's about it. Just enforce a restraining order in camp.
Need to tell them that then.
Yeah. I'm sure we can probably relay the information out of character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'd say was just like, wonderful. Something like that.
Yep. But, yeah. Is there anything else they would really need to talk about?
Unless y'all had any questions for Sula, I can't think of anything.
Can't think of anything either.
Jeff Roth would probably ask about some more specifics about the contract, as I believe they were going to talk about. But that would just be a one-on-one type thing.
Yeah.
Or not even like
Bromance
a
would
one-on-one
sign
type
the
thing, but
first contract.
with the NDA sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That does apply to everything that Sula was talking about with that sort of stuff. So, any further attempt to talk about that will have your tongue tied. All right. Yeah. In that case, I think that's going to be the end of the session.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, that was an interesting one.
Oh, do we tell the rest of the group about the warden?
Probably.
Yeah.
AKA Shula, Jeverman,
Vash. No, Icarus, sorry.
Icarus, yeah. So.
You should
Lacris
probably
already knows a good
also,
bit about the warden. He doesn't know all the in detail stuff I told y'all, but he knows about the warden and why he was hired.
Probably put in general that we have a full day of downtime, a full in-game day.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's still two stuff without Bronaz.
Drew. Dion for no more sessions? Not epic.
Alright,
I
I'll
like
see you
having him
guys.
here.
Alright,
All right,
yeah.
I'm going to end the
See you,
recording.
man.
So, thank you everyone
Bye.
for watching. Remember to have
Bye.
yourselves one dandy little day. Keep in mind, it'll be okay. There's nothing you can do to stop it. And remember to have yourselves one dandy little day. As it goes, do the fun algorithm things if you don't mind. I appreciate it. That. And goodbye.